Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy Jack here at the Irish Hotspur, here to deliver you that watch along. Sorry for going a bit late. It feels like people are kind of coming up with some flu and kind of some sickness. Sean, I don't think will be able to join us today, and I'm not too sure on Dave at the moment either. Everybody, so could even end up being a solo watch along with some guest appearances at halftime and full time. So my sirs, my beckoning at the ref, my Hoiberg chants are going to have to be my fullest, everybody, and I'm going to need the Harris Army behind me on this one and really would appreciate the support, you absolute legends. But let's see what everybody has to say on this game. We got plenty of people already in the chat and really do appreciate you all tuning into this one. But everybody, as you can see, the lineups are to your right. It is gone. We have gone with the 3-5-2 for this one, which is very, very interesting. And it feels like our attacking options are very limited. It's kind of probably what Conte was forced into. Kulusevski is not even available for this one, everybody. So it is going to maybe be a 3-5-2 throughout the game. And if Conte has to chase the game, perhaps he's going to throw on a Brian Hill Messi or maybe a Lucas Moura and switch to a 3-4-3. But the 3-5-2 is going to be what he will persist with, I think, with today. And he was sort of kind of maybe, dealt that hand, or he's forced to play that hand at the 3-5-2. But you can see it down below, everybody. It is Hugo Lloris in goals, Christian Romero, Eric Dyer, Ben Davies has come in for Longley. Does that suggest that Conte prefers Ben Davies more? I'm not sure. I like Longley more. I think he's defended just fine. I think his passing range is a whole lot better. But part of it perhaps has to do with maybe getting out of that back line. We know Ben Davies is a bit more mobile with the ball. He likes to make some runs forward as well, more than maybe Longley does. Perhaps that's what it is. Because it's a 3-5-2, because we don't have as many forwards. Maybe Ben Davies can help us kind of in that progression of the ball, and also just being able to sort of make runs forward and kind of be just sort of an extra body, going across the halfway line. Matt Doherty is going to get another opportunity to try to displace Emerson Royale in the future. He had a great game in that 3-5-2 in the second half. Everybody, let's see how he does it this time around. I think he turned into an entirely different player in that 3-5-2 against the likes of Everton. So we'll see how he does it this time. Bentancur, Basuma, Hoiberg. This is the combination that everybody wanted to see for this game. Perisic out wide. Hopefully he can be also properly supported in that 3-5-2, and we can see the best of him. Harry Kane and Sonny up top. The likes of Man United, Dallo, good right back, Varane and Martinez, the best combination, or at least the best pairing we've seen for them this season. Luke Shaw at left back, not Tyrell Malacia. Casemiro and Fred. We'll see how that goes for them. Very kind of hard-working CDMs, you could say. Anthony and Fernandez, and then Jadon Sancho as well, with Marcus Rashford up top. Jadon Sancho, we'll see how he plays, because he's been a bit kind of in and out of form, but he can also be always, we know, very dangerous. Anthony has been a good signing for them. And then Marcus Rashford preferred to Cristiano Ronaldo. And I think Marcus Rashford has been excellent for them. Playing as the striker role. So we'll see how that plays for them. Big up Ian Carter. Good to see you. Got Sue Smith as well in the house. Big up Sue Smith. Mick Hermlock. Good evening, Jack and Dave. Come on, you Spurs. Big up Mick. Got Mojo Matsy 352. Let's go. Absolutely love it, Mojo. Ribsy 85. Come on, you Spurs. Excited for this. Excited for this one. No idea what's going to happen. I completely agree with you, Ribsy. It just feels like a game where the score predictions could be really anything. It could be a 0-0, 2-1. 3-0, 4-0, 3-3. It could be really anything over the board. I don't think there are really any wrong answers when it comes to this, Ribsy. No wrong answers at all. Big yourself up, Mark. Hopefully you're keeping well, my man. Absolute legend. We also have Frank Last in the building as well. Good to see you. He says must be a 3-5-2. He's gone for a 4-2 win. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Frank. And big up K. The myth and the legends. It might just be me tonight. I'm not sure, but we will have some guest appearances at halftime. So don't you worry, K. We'll get some of those good legends on, see what they have to say, so you can not just have to listen to me blabbering the whole time. Don't you worry. THFC till I die. He says, big up, guys. Let's get this win tonight. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Harris Army. Big up, Dermot. Really appreciate the support today. And that's a massive win if we do get one. It certainly will get Spurs maybe a bit more respect and sort of that that table conversation, because it feels like we kind of flown under the radar, called negative. We've been kind of called a bit unattractive when it's the way that we play and all that stuff. And it just feels like if Spurs get a big win today, that'll be exactly what we need for kind of that reputation. Big yourself up, Dermot. Dark Sun G, good to see you, my man. Hopefully all is well, and really appreciate you tuning in, brother. Says, let's win today and get revenge for last season. I mean, both times they really somehow I don't know. Man United, I don't even think they played that well against us when they got Nuno sacked. I'm glad they got Nuno sacked, but to be honest, I thought even that game, both teams weren't really that great on paper. Then you look at the game against Conte, where it was at Old Trafford. Like this one, it felt like Conte was really hard done by in that game, Dark Sunji. So it is revenge time for sure, my man. Absolute revenge time. Hopefully, Eric Ten Hag can maybe set up his team in the right way that we could take advantage, my man. Big yourself up. THFC till I die. If we win tonight, then we are second in the league. It could be a massive, massive result for us, Dermot. And it sort of feels like this is again, the opportunity for Spurs to demand a bit of respect, I think, from the likes of the Premier League, my man, if you know what I'm saying. But big yourself up, Dermot. We got Roman numerals as well in the house. Correction, when we win tonight, absolutely love it. Wisdom as well. Come on, you Spurs. Big 3 points incoming. Gary Blogs. Could they not get an ex-Spurs player to be there talking about the game? They got Henri, Evra, and Bloody Martinez. Come on, you Spurs, 3-1 win. Looking forward to the watch along. Pick yourself up, Gary, you absolute legend. But I mean, I don't know. It just these days they just can't even find the panelists to make up, a balanced panel. It feels like these days they have to have at least two United representatives, one Arsenal, one Chelsea. It seems to be always the combination. No Spurs representation is usually there, and usually if there is any, it's usually kind of negative Spurs representation. If you ask me, Gary, big yourself up, my man. Gene D is in the house, absolute legend. Basuma, let's go. Big yourself up, Gene. We also got Michael. Good to see you. I miss Kulusevski, not even on the bench. So it shows that it was a real injury, and he is not available for this one entirely by the looks of things, Michael. So it is a very serious injury. He's missed some games now, Kulusevski has. Michael, big yourself up on your bike, Scott. We're going to watch the game at a bar. Hopefully, you enjoy yourself at the pub, my man. R Green is in the house. Evening, Jack. I'm thinking of a draw tonight, but we'll see. Come on, you Spurs, big up R Green. Amir Sardar, let's go, Sonny. Let's go, Sun. Let's go, Sonny. Let's have another one. Big up, Amir. Hopefully, all is well with you, my man. Big up, Lisa. Solo work, no problem. No problem for me, Lisa. And like I said, the sirs will be loud. They'll be plentiful. I'm feeling it, Lisa. I'm absolutely feeling it. And like I said, we'll have people coming on at halftime. Dark Sun G21, Cristiano starts on the bench today for some reason. I think he prefers Marcus Rashford, from what I can tell, Dark Sun G. He seems to like what Marcus maybe gives him, perhaps a bit more pressing. He kind of runs through the channels a bit more. What's kind of funny about Ronaldo is he picks his moments to run in behind, but he doesn't really do it unselfishly. If you kind of get the distinction I'm making there, I feel like Marcus Rashford, he's sort of that player that maybe makes more of those runs that Eric Ten Hag actually likes. And he also just works maybe harder off the ball. And maybe that's what he's sort of looking for. And he has no problem with benching Kron. It feels like Eric Ten Hag, and he's done it again. And I'll be honest, I kind of wish he did go for Ronaldo because I think Marcus Rashford has been very deadly for them this season, playing the striker role. And also in previous seasons, it felt like we didn't even come up against a Marcus Rashford that was in form, if you get what I'm saying. Where previous seasons, Marcus Rashford was that sort of out of form Marcus Rashford, kind of in those what people might have thought those Dele Alli days, where they couldn't even figure out what was going wrong for him, and why everything wasn't really clicking. But now I'm starting to see the old Marcus Rashford again, which sort of does scare me, Dark Sun G. But big yourself up. Wembley's in the house. It's still a bit concerning that it takes injuries to force Conte into going into a much more effective 3-5-2 formation. If we have world-class wingbacks, then 3-4-3 would be fine, but we clearly don't. I mean, the lack of options off the bench because of injuries today, though, Wembley, I think are plentiful. You look at Kulusevski now out and Richarlison out. I mean, two of our best, basically, attackers alongside Kane and Son. I mean, it's just a huge loss for us. And I think he was forced into the 3-5-2 formation. You're absolutely right. But I do wish there were maybe some more options off the bench for us to maybe switch to a 3-4-3. As much as I love Hill Messi, I think if he is going to be used today, it's going to be a lot of pressure on him. It's going to be a lot of pressure on him. But big yourself up, my man. Um, uh, Amir Sardar saying, big up, Jack, holding down the fort. Top man. You absolute legend, Amir. Hopefully, all is well, my man. Spaghetti Slayer, I predict a Ten Hog masterclass. They'll be 4-0 down by halftime. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so, Spaghetti Slayer. But if you ask me, it feels like that sort of formula against the likes of Man United. In order to achieve that, we'll need to press really high up the pitch. We'll need to really cause them some problems pressing high up. And are we going to do that? I kind of anticipate we might be sitting in more of a deeper shape. But with the likes of three hardworking midfielders, in Bentancur, Basuma, and Højbjerg, we definitely will be maybe able to keep a higher line just because we might not get dominated in midfield as much. But you might be right about at that, Spaghetti. You're probably right. Big yourself up. Nick Coupland in the house, absolute legend. Let's hope we see a good performance. 3-1. Come on, you Spurs. Big Boss Man is in the house. I'm not sure, Big Boss Man. I think at halftime we might get the likes of Wes the King. Hopefully Sean might be able to join us at some stage, but David and Sean really are not feeling my very well, Big Boss Man, and I don't want to push them or anything, and I don't think they should push themselves because it doesn't sound like they're doing too well. They're kind of come down with a bit of a sickness or a bit of a flu of some sort. By the looks of things, Big Boss Man, but hopefully you're keeping well. El Jefe, Romero will pocket Sancho, absolutely love it. Adrian Chia, big up Jack. Let's get 3 points is all that matters. The 3 points is all that matters. I think it certainly also puts us in a really good position there. I mean, second place in the table, Adrian Chia, I think is what Dermot said. And also, it also demands a bit of respect. It gets us a bit of bragging rights kind of in the league at this moment in time. Big up Peter Spillane. Hopefully you're keeping well, my man. Tala Ahmed, member for 7 months. Am I the only fan who prefers Longley over Davies? I don't think you are, Tala. I really enjoy Longley, but if I were to rationalize why he's gone for Ben Davies in this one, it could be because of I don't know. What I'm sort of thinking is that Ben Davies makes those sort of underlapping runs, up the pitch, maybe sort of inverted runs, maybe if you will. And maybe that's what he prefers. And then the 3-5-2, we're going to need kind of more runners. We're going to need more players across the halfway line. And Longley might maybe decide to sit a bit deeper. He kind of prefers to hit the passes and find players from those deeper positions. So that's sort of my explanation for it, if you ask me, for maybe why Longley might be preferred, or maybe why Davies might be preferred. Looking at the likes of Martinez. Ten Hag is in the stands there. I don't like those runs that Ben Davies makes, though. I thought those problems or those that game against Everton, I thought Ben Davies was causing us some problems, if you ask me, because I felt like he was taking up the areas that Sonny would have been taking those final third against Everton. I thought he was taking areas that Perisic was taking, but to be fair, that was more in the 3-4-3 and in the 3-5-2. Those sort of runs that Ben Davies likes to make forward might be more of a help in the 3-5-2. Whereas in the 3-4-3, I kind of thought it was a kind of a bit of a distraction or kind of something that didn't help us out too much. Right. Everybody's just making sure, gonna get the timer ready and all that stuff. Anybody have any thoughts on Simon Hooper, the referee? Should I be using Sir plenty on this one? Let me know. Basuma is going to be kicking us off here. Getting ready. And we kicked off, everybody. Oh, and the timer, of course, failed on me, so I'm going to have to refresh that. Classic. Already a yellow card for Jack. Just a second, everybody. Gonna get the clock situated for you so you can all stay in sync with me if you like. All right. There we are, everybody. Hopefully the clock is working now. Yes, it is. There we go. Man United on the ball. Lissandro Martinez. Back to David De Gea. Big up Shamu. Big up Lazier. Big up Derek Smith, Marlon Green, Patty Higgins, Andrew Sparshold. Absolute legends. Really appreciate you tuning in. And Tequila. Absolute legend. Ball in. One by Eric Dyer. Hoiberg. Well done. Into Sonny. Good touch by Sonny. Still carrying it. Bentoncourt plays it back. Romero looking for somebody. Plays a knit. Oh, nice touch by Sonny in there. Sonny turning. Sonny looks active today. He's gone for a left-footed swing, but not even close to Perisic there. Good first touches though by the boy. Oh, well won by Eric Dyer. Basuma, lovely. Pierre Salzburg finds Kane. Kane's gone for a switch of play. Finds Doherty. Doherty finds Bentancur. Ball across the six, cleared away by Martinez. Bentancur, beautiful touch in there. Sonny! Oh! It's just they all swarm Sonny there. Dyer finds Salzburg. Ben Davies on the ball now. Salzburg covered a lot of ground there. It's gone back to Lloris. Lloris pings it. Finds Kane. Oof, bit too high. Big up Patty Higgins. Big up Ribsy. Yeah, we're rocking the scuba kits today, everybody. Doherty being a very aggressive, though. Big breakthrough, though, to Luke Shaw. Oh, poor clearance from Eric Dyer. They get it wide to Anthony. Perisic blocks it. Luke Shaw. It's a poor clearance from Moon Boots. Ball in. Cleared away by Ben Davies. Top of the box now, Dallo. He's going to cut it back here. He's gone for a left-footed, and it's a nice souvenir for a Man United fan. It's poor from Moon Boots there. He's getting high, and he's trying to be aggressive. That's poor there. It's horrible clearance. Here we go, Romero. Oh, poor there. Kane on the ball. Højbjerg, lovely feet, Højbjerg. Dyer. Basuma. Dyer. Bentancur carrying. Finds Sonny. Nice pass in Bentancur. He got for a shot. Cross goal. Oof. Sails past the post. Bentancur, he went for the hit there. Beautiful pass by Sonny into him. Moon Boots pressing very high up on Rashford there. Yeah, I feel like he probably should have passed there. I feel like he didn't need to rush there, but it's not a bad effort at all. Oh, good ball into Bruno Fernandes. Gets taken down by Romero, or is he offside? Gets taken down. I mean, that's what happens. If he's going to be that blatantly offside, I mean, Romero's just going to eat you alive there. Ooh, he's just pretty close, actually. Could have been on. Kind of just tripped over each other. Romero plays it back to Lloris. Lloris plays it to Perisic. Man United break free here. Oh, nice dummy by Bruno. They try to play it in behind. Well done by Doherty. They try to catch out Lloris. Catch that, Hugo. Jeez, Hugo. Beautiful dummy, I must say, by Bruno. Really caught out Spurs there. Caught out Bentancur. Then Fred tried to thread through the likes of Rashford. Well caught out, well sought out by Doherty there. Covered a lot of ground there. Jesus, Hugo. Fred. Not even a great shot there. Hugo palms it over the bar. I feel like he can even catch that, to be fair. I mean, am I being harsh there? Can he even catch that? Big up Ian Ferguson. Really appreciate you tuning in, brother. Bruno. Ronaldo's going to have to take out that earring before he comes onto the pitch. He's looking very disgruntled. United win it high up here. Spurs tried to play out from their own back and they lose it. Lissandro plays it back to David De Gea. De Gea finds Bentancur. Lovely touch. Lovely bit of composure as well from Bentancur. Beautiful bit of composure. Moon boots. Plays it to Romero. Basuma. Doherty back to Romero. Romero's trying to find somebody here. He's looking for that ping. He finds Sonny. Sonny lets it through for a beautiful dummy. Come on, Pierre. Find somebody. Perisic. Skin him, son. Come on, Perry. Come on, Perry. Oh! It's poor. It's a poor. But Perisic. Or sorry, Hoiberg. Ben Davies. It's poor from Perisic. He actually had him skinned. Basuma. Finds Bentancur. Spurs' midfielders running the show here, looking lovely. Win that, Ben Davies. Unlucky. Sancho. Big up, Emily. Appreciate your delivery. It looks like Dave is going to be delivered. Dave. It looks like Dave is going to be delivered soon. Everybody, he's coming back from the birthday, and he's probably feeling okay enough to be able to join us for the watch along if he's able. He's not feeling his best, I know either, so he's being a real trooper today. Big up, Davo. Appreciate you, Emily. Yeah, you're probably right there, Dan. Probably being a bit harsh on him, huh? Nice switch of play. Find Anthony here. Anthony cuts inside. Hugo! Good shot from Anthony. Looks like it clipped the outside of the post there as well. Did clip the outside of the post. Oh, Basuma, poor touch, gets away with it. Sir! Jeez. Come on, boys. Please, wake up here. Romero tries to get things going. Perisic finds Kane. Kane being absolutely just dragged everywhere by Martinez. Apparently Spurs used the wrong ball there. Perisic. And Davies. And Davies, hold this up. Jeez. Come on, Ben. Jeez, how are they getting out of that? How is Ben Davies letting him out of there? Hugo. Hugo finds Romero. Under pressure here. Romero pings it lovely to Ben Davies. Beautiful find. Spurs trying to play out of their own half here. Moon boots. Left footed pass into Kane. Sketchy pass from Kane there. Doherty, time and space. Doherty loses. Oh, it's a poor pass from Doherty. Oh, yes, Kane. Somebody find Sonny. Find him. Oh, he had Sonny there, Kane. Perisic, one-on-one again with Dallo. Oh, go have a hit, son. Ah, fuck. Perisic, jeez, it's like he has him and then he doesn't. Please. Oh, you have him there, son. Oh, it's a poor touch. I think he had him there. He actually skinned him there. He had him. He could have a shot at the left across goal. It's just a poor touch there. I feel like he had him. Basuma having trouble getting under control here. Finds Ben Davies though. Ben Davies, oh, lovely by Sonny. Lovely layoff by Son. Doherty goes for a cross, gets blocked by Luke Shaw. Goes out for a throw-in. Straight off the side of the cheekbone of Luke Shaw. Bit end to end, you could say at the moment. Doherty with the throw-in. Bentancur trying to hold it up here. Wins another throw-in. Doherty. Suma. Nice little find. Ben Davies. Thinking about a hit. Salzburg. Romero, nice little dink into Kane. He's holding up Martinez. Sir, handball. Bentancur. He's getting chased down by Bruno. He's hacking everybody, Bruno. Salzburg, time and space. Lovely turn by Salzburg. Finds Sonny. Who finds Perisic. Oh, lovely run by Ben Davies. Whip it across. Bentancur actually did well. He hit the header well. Basuma, what is that? Ooh. Back pass to De Gea, who pings it. Big up Sue Smith. Perisic throwing. Yeah, I think so too, Ribsy. I think that's the whole reason as well. If I had to rationalize Davies playing today, I think it's for that run exactly. And we were talking about that earlier beforehand. Possession now for Man United. Sancho, Luke Shaw, Fred, Casemiro, Dallo, top of the box. Spurs very hard working in midfield right now. Højbjerg, lovely deflection, lovely tackle. Big up Spaghetti Slayer. Veron plays it back to De Gea. The pressure. Sonny's running everywhere right now. Lovely layoff by Fred, I must say, and a lovely pass by Bruno. They're getting some numbers now ahead. Man United. Bruno. Anthony again tries to cut inside. You know what he's going to do? He's going to cut inside here. Varane. Surprisingly lesser action, I agree. Not given the chance yet. But Sancho's taking it in. Luke Shaw outside the box. Goes to nobody. Lovely bit of composure there from Perisic. Absolutely lovely. Coolest head in the building. Big up Dan Coys, my man. Absolute boss. Romero. Ben Davies. Bit of time for Ben Davies. Sees Doherty. Beautiful run. Beautiful ping. Doherty. He skids him. Left foot. Ah! Why? Oh! I feel like. Oh, why is it okay? What immediately made me think of that is Doherty. When Doherty plays at left wing back, he never uses his left foot when he plays at left wing back. But in that situation, he has all the time and space to think about a shot. He goes for a left-footed curler when he's never used his left foot before to shoot, and he uses it when he's on the right hand side. I mean, that's just shocking. Great touch initially though from Doherty, and a beautiful ping from Kane. Oh, Rashford! Luke Shaw. Bruno. Blocked by Bentancur. Højbjerg chasing down Dallo. Anthony. Chased down by Perisic. De Gea. I didn't even get to see Perisic nick Coupland. Was he at the back post? I didn't see that. Yeah, we probably should have scored that. I think Perisic had a good chance to score, Robbie, and I think Doherty's had a good chance to score. Both fullbacks have had great opportunities. Anthony. Fred finds Rashford. Great save from Hugo. Oh, Fred just absolutely. Oh, why is it that Fred is killing us with that through ball? The back line's a little high there. And Eric Dyer just lets it go right past him, and it's Hugo that bails him out there. Great save from Hugo. And a referee gives a foul for Fred there. Lovely to see Romero put an absolute tattoo on Fred there. Yeah, that was poor from Dyer. It felt like that. It felt like he just kind of just let that go through. It's just one of those situations, like what I think Ribsy has said, in the past, where it often just feels like Dyer will just kind of go like, "Oh well, somebody has to get that." Just felt like he need. I don't know. It didn't seem that far away from him. Dyer felt like he could have seen that out. Great save from Hugo. Absolutely bailing him out, Sue Smith. Free kick for Man United here. Bruno stepping over it as well as Luke Shaw and Marcus Rashford. Bruno. Good save from Hugo. Hit that with a lot of venom. It looked like Hugo did, or Bruno did. Looked like he hit that with a lot of venom. Kind of straight at Hugo. Had to shuffle over once, but he didn't have to make a full stretch. Top of the box. Rashford deflects. Goes out for another corner. That took a nasty deflection there. Man United are starting to get some chances now. I feel like they're starting to get their influence on the game here. Set piece here as well. Dangerous. Bruno. Bruno whips it in. Cleared by Moon Boots. Deep ball in here. Romero wins it, but it goes to Sancho. A bit of time for Sancho as well. Finds Bruno, top of the box. Anthony now. Dallo sizing up Perisic. Skins him. Back post. Luke Shaw. Great save again from Hugo. Hugo's getting absolutely peppered. Spurs' defense is starting to get it. Feels like they're starting to pass around us a bit easily, you could say. Midfield is not being able to dominate. It's not able to win the ball as high up the pitch as we were earlier. Man United is starting to be able to pick together some passes. Another corner. Bruno. Dinks it. Top of the box for Fred. Uh-oh, Anthony. Spurs get away with it. It feel like good chances there for Man United. To be fair, some good blocks, but we weren't doing very well with clearing our lines, and as well, Hugo just looked very busy there. Great save from Hugo initially to begin with, though, from that Rashford chance, and felt like Man United since then just pretty much just kept the ball in our half for a while there. We just couldn't get out. Good chance though. Hugo's not even bothering anymore with trying to play out the back. He's sending the boys long. 12 shots to 3 from United. I mean, United definitely picked up a lot of shots in that moment. Luke Shaw here. Pings it wide to Dallo. Anthony plays it all the way back to De Gea. Anthony one-on-one. Højbjerg. Doherty misses the tackle. Bruno sails over the bar. United are starting to take a lot of shots now. Spurs surviving the waves of pressure for now. They're trying to play out of their half here. Dyer. Basuma. Basuma looks way too heavy. Oh, well done by Doherty. Basuma. Well done by Basuma. Bentancur. Sir! Bringing in Dave in just a second here, everybody. Kane, couldn't tell there if he lost it, but ball back to United. Martinez on the ball here. Plays it back to De Gea. Uh-oh. Romero. All right, Dave, you are in there.
Oh, big up, Jacko. How are we getting on?
Did you get the link for Nick's? I think you can check out Nick's, and then I can switch to that one. If you got that.
No, I've only got the link you sent me, Jacko.
Yeah, does one of those has a game link, I think, Dave.
Oh yeah, I'm on the game link that was there.
Okay, that's working.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Oh, sails past the post there. Let me switch to that one because I was just on my own for a second, just watching on my own stream.
How are we getting on? Are we playing well?
In the beginning part, I think we were the better team, but earlier, Dave, I thought, I'll be honest, I think Man United started to really pepper us for a bit. Hugo actually looked really shaky in the beginning, and then he's actually saved us, let's be honest. Like, everybody, I think, now is saying he saved us, and United are starting to get a lot of shots on our goal. Starting to get a lot of shots.
Their lineup was very, very attacking.
They're starting to look like they're, but we looked very good in the beginning here. But a bit of time here for Kane. Pings it!
Come on, Sonny. Go on, Sonny. Oh.
Yeah, but Sonny and Kane in the initial part of the game were, I think, linking well. We looked good. The midfield was strong. And then United, I think, last 15 minutes have had a big spell of just, good play. They've just had a big spell of good play.
Yeah. How's everyone getting on in the chat? Sorry I'm late. Sister's birthday. Didn't really want to be there because of the game, but look, I'm here now.
It's good to see you. Also, I know you're not feeling your best as well, Dave. So do appreciate you, troopering up as well. Being a good trooper.
Of course, I couldn't miss this, lad. I couldn't. I had to get back some way, shape, or form.
Ben Davies.
How's Salzburg? How's Zinedine Salzburg been?
Like I said, Dave, I thought the whole midfield was very saucy in the beginning, and now I think they've lost a bit of influence on the game.
Is the midfield three working, or do you think a 3-4-3 would have been better suited?
I think we had to play the 3-5-2 today. Kulusevski's not even on the bench.
Yeah.
So, we were forced to play the 3-5-2. As much as I am a Hill believer.
Yeah, it's a big ass task and start away from Old Trafford. Good ball by Perisic. Go on, Sonny.
Here we go here. Lovely by Højbjerg. Perisic has had the best two chances, Dave. He's actually just not done well with them.
What is that, Ben Davies? Jesus Christ.
I would say Perisic and Doherty have had the best chances on the day.
Give it to... How's Doherty been?
Doherty's been decent with the chances he got. He actually had probably the best chance, like I said, alongside Perisic. He just didn't do well with it. He did well initially, did really well to get the chance, but then when it actually came to the shot, did quite poor.
Not surprised.
In fact, I laughed at he even used his left foot because we never see him use his left foot, and he decided to use it when he's on the right-hand side instead of the left-hand side.
Brain dead.
Tequila saying, big update, putting family before Spurs game. Tut tut.
I didn't want to, but my mother was going mad. So honestly, if I had my way, I would have stayed there for the game. But look, my sister's only 21 once, so my mother made me go. So
it's a big American birthday anyway. So it's a big birthday for the Yanks.
Yeah, but when you're just sitting there and all you can think about is the starting lineup, who's going to start right back, it doesn't help. United on the attack here.
Sancho.
As soon as I seen their lineup, I thought it would be tricky for us tonight because they got a load of players that'll just run out. It's great interception by Perisic. Perisic bombing down the left-hand side here.
Bombing. He's too old to do that noise. Too old for that animation noise.
Do you know what, Jack? We just look like we don't have too many options up front. We're just playing the two, if I'm being honest. I'm only here 2,
We
3
have
minutes.
good moments. That's what it is. It's just it can't be as free flowing. Like it's not free flowing. That's where I think the mistake is
Yeah.
with the 3-5-2 is that we look very solid and there are periods when we dominate in possession and there are periods when Højbjerg, Bentancur, etc. are just bossing. But Kane,
Oh, come on, Perisic. Come on, Perisic. Put in a good ball.
skin him. Plays
Good play.
Højbjerg, Bentancur.
Oh,
Find
what a
Sonny.
ball. Sonny,
Great touch. Have a hit.
lucky. It's better.
Sonny's first touch today has been on, I would say. He's had a good first touch today.
He's looking
And
lively, isn't
Kane
he?
has been brilliant. Kane has been
Good.
brilliant as well. It just feels like, Dave, as I was saying before we had that chance, that in the 3-5-2, we have exceptional midfielders. It's just we can't exactly get enough men going forward sometimes. And so
Yeah.
we kind of have to pick our moments when we can really send people forward. So it's sort of, I think, not always the most free flowing, if you actually
Do you
ask
know
me,
what?
because it doesn't mean that we can attack all the time. Like we
Yeah.
don't always have the opportunities to attack simply because we only have 1 or 2 men able to make those runs. So we have to sort of pick our moments if we really want to send a bunch of people forward.
I don't mind it so much away
Oh.
from home if it helps us. Could be a free. I don't mind it so much away from home, especially at somewhere like Old Trafford. I can accept it. But for me, look, they're 7 points behind us. They haven't been great. We've got to win this if we want to stay in the title race, These are the sort of games where you pick up points and it keeps you in the race.
Shmua said his first touch was exceptional today. I think his first touch was exceptional today. Bentancur.
Where is that to? It's just an awful ball around the corner.
Luke Shaw.
I love how compact we are in that formation, that there's fuck all space for them to play around.
Mm-hmm. Anthony.
How's he been? Down that left, have we caught?
He's had the best chance for them. He clipped the outside of the post. And also Rashford had the best chance. Poor clearance from Doherty there. But Basuma. Oh.
Is that Ben Davies? Fuck me. Sonny's standing there free. He's standing there looking at him. Just pass it to me.
De Gea.
I'm not in a good mood anyway, and I just feel like some of these players are going to annoy me this evening. It's just stupid. Like, you're just giving the ball back. Just give it to Sonny. He's made a burst for you to be able to receive it.
I don't want you to be a bad luck charm, Dave. Bad hoodoo over here at Old Trafford, Dave.
Well, look, we don't win there anyway. What is it, 38 times we've lost there or something like that? It's the most we play at.
Oh,
go on.
Nice little idea by Kane.
Just that little final touch.
Good idea. Anthony
Ben
here.
Davies looks like he's in World War III. Like he's up against fucking Rashford. And now
Højbjerg.
No, that's Ben Davies' fault. It was a shit header and then he stands 50 yards off him. He just lets him drop into the space to pick up the ball. He's pissing me off already. I'm only here 6 minutes. I've spotted 3 things he's done wrong.
Oh, Jesus. He's falling into Højbjerg. Great
Down.
call by the ref.
He's gone down. If they give that a penalty.
I mean, he was falling into Højbjerg. Yeah.
I think I am becoming a bad luck charm. We're just fucking giving everything away since I've got here.
Bruno. Sancho to Bruno. No, get it out!
Christ, well done. Who was that? Højbjerg.
Sir!
Close him down. Someone
is clear. Oh my Lord! Did he just let that go across his body? Did he just let that go across his body, Dave? It's the middle of the set.
There watching him. Jesus Christ,
Dave! It's the middle of the 6-yard box. You don't let that go across your body.
Can't believe it. They're all
Sonny trying to show him the weight room. Oh. Dave, you don't let that go across your body. Jeez, it's the 6-yard box.
All over the place.
Sonny or Anthony just destroys Pierre. Oh, somebody. Well,
Oh
who
my
just
god,
lets?
yeah. Let's just have him. Let's just give him a free shot. Why not? Let's just part open like it's the Red Sea for fucking Moses. Jesus Christ.
What the fuck is that, Ben Davies? Jesus Christ!
Some of them need to wake up a little.
Because what's stupid there is that Hugo's not even saying a word. So it's not like he's, listening to Hugo asking for it. And it's shocking from both Hugo and Ben Davies there. I don't really know a Hoiberg. It's a
No,
poor
we're all
touch
over
from
the shop.
Hoiberg.
We're literally all over the shop.
Top of the
Another one
box here,
lined up. Another
Dallo.
one lined up.
On for a shot.
Oh,
Ricochets off
what a
Hoiberg.
block. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
Dyer. Ricochets
Dyer.
off Dyer.
Moonhead. What a block. That's sick. That's sensational. But you know what? Fair play to him, Jack. At least he's the only one running out there trying to close it down. Oh,
Oh,
that's right on the
really
nose.
takes it as well.
And it's a cold
The
October.
one time, Dave, he
That is-
doesn't turn like it's a water balloon. The one time he doesn't turn like it's a water balloon. I mean,
Do you know what? That's what I want from my defenders, though, Jack. I want them to stand there and take the ball in the face. People in Sunday League can do it.
Ian Ferguson, down goes Donkey Dyer.
Oh, big up, Ian. Adrian Cheer with the super chat says, big up, Dave. Good thing Kane is passing better tonight. Look, I thought he was good against Everton. I thought he was very good against Everton.
Sorry about that, Adrian. Meant to bring in Dave actually to that. I wanted Dave to speak about that because that came in right as you were coming in. Big up, Adrian. Yeah, Dave, I think Sonny's first touch has been fabulous, and Kane has been able to find the passes. I mean, he hasn't had a ton of the ball, but when he has had it, he's played some absolute gorgeous times.
And then since I've got here, we've given away nearly every pass.
You're going to have to get into Dave, you're going to have to abandon the stream. Just honestly, maybe take a flight to Manchester and just get into halftime. And hopefully you can get in there by, you got, 15 minutes. Dave. Maybe you could take a flight over.
Well, if I see a player cutting across our box, running through and passing it unchallenged, I will have to get a flight to Manchester. If I see that again.
Everybody's like, no, turning is back there, Dave.
See, that's the difference between that and what he done against Trossard for Brighton, or what he done with Cristiano Ronaldo, where he stood off with his hands behind his back, playing Ringa Rosie. You know what I mean?
Is this a bit of good pause in the game, though? To be fair, like
it's a great pause, takes a sting out United.
It really, because I'll be honest, since like the 19th minute mark, Dave. I mean, it's kind of been all United. Like I said, Spurs. Funny enough, Spurs have been doing this past few games where we have actually been the aggressor in the first 15 minutes. And we've taken it to the other team and looked like the better team. And then we sort of maybe, like we know, kind of maybe sit in more of a shell and start to let the team into it again. And that's what sort of happened here is what I've at least noticed. But hopefully we can take advantage of that positive play. Hopefully that took a bit of momentum out of the game for United. Anthony here.
Oh, well done.
Ian Ferguson keeps calling Moon Boots donkey.
No, but that's what we want to see from our players, though. Stand there and take it if that's what it takes. Why are we so far off them? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I feel like Basuma and Bentancur are a bit far off there, and Hoiberg is stepping out, but tries. Top of the box.
One of you, please make a move. Oh
back
my
post
God.
To nobody. Well done, Perisic.
How can they just be allowed to pass it across top of our box like that, completely unchallenged? I mean, either the game has changed or else, when I was playing, I was just a psycho, but I wasn't allowed to happen. When that, once, just won't go in Son's direction. That's twice now. Just won't drop from Jacko. Let's give him another 30 yards. Why not?
Anthony. Fred. Bruno. Oh, come on, Pierre. Top of the box now. Sees it out. 3 minutes till halftime.
We need to start retaining a bit of possession because if we don't, we're going to get caught.
Yeah, well, are we just trying to hold out to halftime? That's what's starting to look like now
Yeah,
at this
look,
stage.
maybe even if we are, but like this can't continue this way in the second half
No, it
because
can't.
eventually one of them little dink balls over the top from the edge of the box that we're allowing them to do will work. It will come off.
Ooh, good touch from Sonny.
Oh, go on, Kane. Go on,
Nice,
Sauce Burke.
Pierre.
Now use it. Look at Doherty Bentacore. Not too long.
Here we
Now
go.
get it in. Oh my God, I swear to God. I swear to God.
Here we go. Bentacore. Pierre.
Why is he incapable of moving the ball on the outside and whipping it in? He's actually just incapable. He's got all the time in the world to do it there. Kane's in a good position. One-on-one with his man.
Yeah, it's true. He's also one-on-one with Shaw.
You know what I mean? Just move it on the outside and whip it in. No. I'm going to stand here like a fucking doorstop and play it back inside.
Oh, no.
Like you don't get any rewards for not being brave on the ball in the final third. You know what I mean? You don't get any whatsoever.
Dave Ginola, bring on Lucas second half, please, Conte. Conte is very mad, says Shamu.
I'll be honest. What's the point of playing the three midfielders? They're just going to pop it around like I've seen them do since I got here. You know, the whole idea to have the three in the midfield is not allow that to happen. If this was a midfield two, people are going mad about Højbjerg and Bentacore. You know, the fact that it's a midfield three and they're just popping it around like it's fucking Smarties. Go on, Sonny. Just everything that's come into him so far, he's held up. What is that?
Pierre,
What?
that's poor Pierre.
That's just shit. It's not even poor. It's just shit.
Sonny, great interception. Find him, Pierre.
Good boy.
Bentacore.
Use him outside your Bentacore.
Find Sonny. There you go. Doherty,
comes
time
back
and space.
inside.
Come on, Doc.
Give back to him, Kane.
Kane! Pass!
Handball!
Handball! Sir! Bentacore! Back post!
Oh, fuck's sake.
What do you mean? What are you even getting upset about? We're inside your box. We're inside your box, you lunatic.
Oh, they're crying. Yeah, exactly. Why are they crying that the ref didn't stop it?
We're inside your box, you lunatic.
Oh, you got one in the Adam's apple. Tough tits. Get up. Kane probably could have played Doherty back there, you know.
I thought he was. I thought he was going to go for the back heel or
Yeah,
something.
the little cheeky step on the ball and roll it backwards. I hit him in the shoulder. There's nothing wrong with him.
Yeah, but also, why is he gave it to? And do you see De Gea, Dave? Sprinted to the referee like we're inside your box. You.
He's embarrassing. He's embarrassing.
Like, what do you? Oh yeah, let us just stop play here.
Right?
While we're 6 yards in front of your goal, let us just stop play. What does he even want?
Jack, what was the reaction like in the pre-match build-up? Would everyone settle for a draw tonight, or did they all want to win?
It was a mixed bag because everybody just feels like there are a variety of scorelines that couldn't be on the cards tonight. And I think by that sort of token, or by that sort of logic, a lot of people would take a draw. But there is also, to be fair, like this is the most beatable United have been in some time.
Yeah.
And you have to consider that. I mean, you can't not ignore that. At the same time, though, you look at the record, you look at the hoodoo that Spurs have faced when coming to Old Trafford. You also look at the fact that, I mean, I'll be honest, like it's still a great point. And as much as emotion and things like that go into it, you still would look at it as a great point, I think. And Conte would be the happier one of the two, I think. At the same time, Dave, I think they're a more beatable United than ever. It's just such a hard game to predict. Like I said in the beginning, like you could predict a 4-0 by halftime because Man United have been down 4-0 at halftime before, or you could see a 0-0 like it was against Newcastle, or you could see a 2-1. That's I'm kind of seeing on the cards here. If it were to be a win, you could see a 1-1. It's not like a cut and dry sort of easy prediction, or it's not even, it's one of the harder predictions, I think, from this season. I even thought that Chelsea was an easier game to predict, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people went for a 2-2 actually against Chelsea, but this United one, I mean, I think it's all over the place for what predictions might be.
Do you know what? I'll be honest, I'm very unimpressed with what I've seen, if I'm being brutally honest. I mean, look, this United
this is also what you had the question in there.
Only
won 2 of 7 away from home this season in all competitions. It has been poor away form. and we're looking like we're just trying to get to halftime at this moment, and it seems like we will.
Oh, what is
But
that?
Sonny gives it away
You
at
know
the
what,
one
though,
time.
Jack? We can't always. We do it at home as well. We can't always keep looking to get to halftime to get a little tickle off Conte. You know, a little pick me up. They should have the bollocks to be out there doing it anyway. And this is a shit United team. Like, make no mistake about it. This is a crap United team. Newcastle should have bet them on the weekend.
Pierre, that's so poor.
Newcastle's front three or front players absolutely ran riot against Man United. They looked dangerous every time they broke.
Tyler says he take a draw at this point.
Have we even got a shot on target, Jack? Oh, Kane shot. Kane shot against the David De
No,
Gea. Any others?
not that I can recall. I think Perisic might have had one, or at least he should have had one, and then Doherty
Oh,
should
come
have
on,
had one.
Sonny. Kane,
There were
use
two
them.
opportunities where we should have had a shot on target. I think it was really poor that they didn't challenge the keeper.
Yeah.
And also, Bentancur also had a good chance at one stage.
Half time. There you are, nil. What's
There you
Anthony
are,
crying
everybody.
for?
0-0. I mean, I'm down. I'm happy we're not down now at halftime, but it is a bit disappointing because I feel like it was a weird one. I thought we started the game well going into this one. We kind of dominated the first 15 minutes from what I saw, and then we just sort of conceded to United. And then after like 18th minute mark, it was sort of all United. I'll be honest, Dave. At least that's what I saw. It was sort of all United at one stage. So it could be an interesting game afterwards. But what do Spurs maybe need to do differently from what you saw, Dave, going into the next half? And we do have Wes here, and I'm going to bring him on here after you, Dave,
Change
and see what he
formation.
has to say. But what do we need to do differently?
Change formation. Look, the whole idea of the 3-5-2 is to get possession on the ball, but we don't create chances in the 3-5-2. And I've been saying this, and from what I've seen, like, you know, the three midfield's not working. They're not even working hard enough. United are just popping it around the edge of our box, recycling it, putting little dink balls in behind and everything else. Eventually, if one of them is going to, one of our players will slip it and miss kick it, and it'll fall to one of them United players, and we're going to get absolutely punished. So either that midfield tree needs to fucking push higher up and start engaging and trying to turn that ball over and get the ball into Kane and Son, or we need to change formation, take Basum out, get Lucas on there, and carry an attacking threat and give them something to think about, which will hopefully make them fall further and further back in that second half.
Yeah, I know what you're saying there. Dave. And to be fair, I mean, the 3-5-2 seemed like what Conte was forced into the 3-5-2, if you ask me. And because of the injuries, to the likes of Kulusevski. Kulusevski isn't even on the bench. So I even said in the pre-match buildup, or not the pre-match buildup, but before we kind of got started and before we had you in here and before the game got started, I sort of said, like, is Conte forced to kind of just stick with the 3-5-2 for the rest of this game? But we now have Wes in here. Wes, what are your thoughts on maybe exactly what we've just been saying? The 3-5-2. Dave has asked for it to maybe go to the 3-4-3. I think with maybe what he has on the bench, he's kind of forced to maybe make the 3-5-2 work for today. What are your thoughts, though, Wes?
I don't think we've been playing horrible 3-5-2. I think it's really down to the back three or defensive center backs and how they're passing out of the back, and the goalkeeper as well. Lloris made a couple of cheap crosses that just end up going straight to the Manchester United players, and then that would make them go right back to attacking us. That happened at least 3 occasions now. It's just when you're playing that kind of position where you're relying more on the back three and passing out of the back, and I don't think we're just there with when it comes to 3-5-2 in that formation. I don't think they get the formation just enough to understand how to really play out of the back and make sure you do that. And then, of course, I agree that the three midfield haven't been, I think, working hard enough, especially on the defensive side. I think we've been, especially those last few minutes, Bissouma kind of got a little joggy to me, and I hate seeing that kind of body language because it just, if the Manchester United, all they have to do is play a little bit quicker. They play a little bit quicker, they have an open shot.
It
Because
actually
we're a
felt like
little,
the left-hand side, it being
yeah,
Basuma and Bentancur's side. Basuma and Bentancur had more
See this?
trouble stepping out than
yeah.
Højbjerg did, if you
Oh,
ask
and
me.
also on Perisic. Perisic, his one-on-one defending is pretty shocking from what I'm seeing right now. He
We
got,
saw it against Saka, so we're
yeah,
not surprised what's happening against Antony, to be
yeah,
honest. Yeah.
it's not, I'd rather have, I say change up Session, put him in there and see if it clicks a little bit better, especially defensively, because it look like they're going to start focusing on that right side since
Well,
Perisic is just not good one-on-one defending.
what he could do is he could take out Basuma, bring on Session, push Perisic up to make a
That's true.
3-4-3. Because this is what frustrates me about Basuma now. Look, I know I was late to the game, but for what I'm seeing there, he's just plunked in the middle. He's not actually doing anything. There's no effort in there, And for me, it's just kind of like this is supposed to be your chance.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck if the rest of the team aren't playing at a high tempo or aren't putting in the press, and you go and do it. And for me, he's just sitting there and that midfield three. The whole idea of it is to engage the teams higher up the pitch, turn the ball over, and get into Kane and Son quickly. And from what I've seen, we haven't been doing that. So what's the point of having the midfield three if they're not going to do what they're supposed to be doing?
You think he needs to be a bit more disciplined in the middle, though, Dave? Maybe he can't step out as much as he'd like to, or is it just simply like an effort, standpoint?
Yeah. Do you think he's like being
Is it like Dyer,
scared?
where
Do you
Dyer,
think
when he
he's
steps
scared
out,
to go out of position and stuff? Yeah.
It's effort. It's effort. Look, it is a disciplined role, but Jack, it's not stopping him from engaging the player that's in front of him.
Sure.
It's not stopping him trying to put a foot in to stop that pass being moved to the right or the left. And he's just comfortable sitting there. Now, I get it that we don't want to open up and show them any sort of little holes to play in and stuff like that. But it's just an effort thing. Like Højbjerg, from what I've seen, he's given away the ball 4 or 5 times. And everyone knows I love Zinedine Salzburg. But from what I've seen, sloppy on the ball. Bentancur, too slow on the ball. A couple of times he's had Doherty marauding down on the outside, and he's just giving it to him too late. You've got to knock that into him early. Let him take a touch. Let him get in the box. The whole problem is the tempo. We're just we're too slow. Tempo off the ball and tempo on the ball. It's not been good enough.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Arne Anderson here, new member. Welcome to the fan show as well. He's picked up the fan show member. Arne Anderson has, and hopefully you'll be able to come on. I'm not sure if we're doing the fan show tonight, just because I know it'll be super, super late, Arne, but we'll definitely have one Friday and for sure have one this weekend. So plenty of fan shows to look forward to, brother. Absolute legend. And he also come in here with a super chat as well, lads. And he says, do we switch to the 5-4-1? Basically, do we put every single man behind the ball bar Kane? And the 5-4-1 is actually technically the 3-4-3 as much as we want to kind of laugh at it when we're sitting in this deep of a formation, Wes. That is what the 3-4-3 is. It's basically
pretty much
a 5-4-1. And then the 3-5-2 is a 5-3-2, or even pretty more much like sometimes it's like a 5-5-1. Scenarios.
And especially when we're going to defense, especially when we're going to defensive on parts. When we're going to defensive, it always goes to like a back five, a mix of a back five. So it kind of already is that because Kane stays very much up top, and Son always goes into the midfield when we play defense. So it kind of already changes into that when we play defensively, then we go on the counter.
Yeah.
Just to answer the question.
I know what you mean. Yeah. And with the 3-4-3, I'd go to it, but I think I might not wait and switch. I think I'd switch to it maybe a bit later. I think I might wait for an opportunity to go for the game because we just don't simply have a decisive player like Kulusevski just to bring on a halftime that you want to give all the time in the world to change the game. We don't even have Richarlison to bring on even. So we'd have to risk the likes of and also I was going to go on your Perisic point, Dave. With Perisic today, and I know Wes has seen it, and I'm not sure if you got to, Dave, but Perisic had 2 good opportunities, I thought, going forward, and he did well. Like, he does well at skinning his man. He does well at creating space for himself, but it's the cross that's either underhit, it's the shot that's underhit. The last touch was a bit too heavy on one of them. And it's funny about Perisic, Dave, is that he's got good opportunities at certain moments to actually score, to actually put a shot on goal. But then he just either gets a bit nervous or like something seems to go wrong, but he initially creates it. It's not like he's doing poor to begin with. Like, he initially does well and then seems to mess it up from there. And it's a bit disappointing. And that's where if I were to go to a 3-4-3 and put Perisic on the left or put Perisic on the right, I'm wondering, is he going to give me that output? Because right now he has had opportunities in front of goal and he hasn't been as convincing as we'd like him to be.
Let me ask you a question, Jack. You were saying there about, you want us to wait for the right opportunity to go for the game. Where does that come about? Because you have to weigh up with us sitting off United, completely giving them control of the game, letting them pin balls around the edge of our box, pop shots off this, that, and the other. When do you actually find the right moment to put players higher up the pitch and try and actually push Man United back? I get what you're saying. It's a very, very fine balance. But how do we weigh it up? At what
point are you getting battered too much on the pitch, and it's too late? I agree. I always love that 15-minute rule, Dave, but I've been burned by that rule plenty of times
Yeah,
before. So it's
Yeah.
and
we all
that's
been.
because that's why it's probably there in the first place is that 15-minute rule is people usually get burned by it. But I'm not too sure. I'll be honest. I'm not too sure, Dave, but I'm going to stick by what I said. I do think that
Mm.
we should stick with the 3-5-2, see if something happens, see if something goes for Spurs. And then if it doesn't, I think you do go for the game. And I think you do go for the 3-4-3. You're probably going to concede if you stick with the 3-5-2 throughout the game. I think even switching to a 3-4-3, we can still be defensively solid like we saw before with that super chat. It's really essentially can be a 5-4-1 if need be. I'm a bit worried about that 3-5-2 for the whole 90 minutes because I feel like eventually we would concede at some stage. And
Yeah.
technically, the only other midfielder we would bring on is Ollie Skip if he is available, which I'm pretty sure he is.
He is. He is.
Super chat here from Ribsy85, and he was did great earlier on the pre-match build-up, Dave. He said, had the fans praying for 3-5-2. Now after 45 minutes, they're asking for something different. Sometimes you just have to soak up some pressure and grind it out. Hopefully we have the composure to do it, says Ribsy85. And he is right. Like, and people, that's why I kind of brought this up, Ribsy. Like, people have kind of called 3-5-2 more attacking and have called it a bit better and actually bringing out the best of the forwards. I kind of disagree. I think it is like a bit more pick and choose your moments sort of kind of formation. And because we don't really have like a Nico Barella or like some sort of James Madison in the team, it's not really easy for us to be able to always be free flowing attacking with it. And the fullbacks, while Emerson hasn't been on the pitch, we've had our two most attacking fullbacks on the pitch. It still hasn't been the most, forward thinking, I would say, formation.
Why do people think it's a forward attacking formation? You're literally taking out a forward player and putting in an extra midfielder and literally relying on your wing backs to provide the creativity out wide. Whereas in the 3-4-3, you've got an extra forward, you've got two players rather than your full. You do need your fullbacks, but you've got two other players there, sort of out wide that you can play off. So I don't get why people think it's more attacking. It's not. All you got to do is look how we implemented it against Burnley. We created absolutely fuck all. We create a lot more in the 3-4-3, and I'd like to see a switch to it in the second half. This United team are there for the taking. They're there for 3 points. Let's go and do it.
Also, to add to that, the 3-4-3, we defend a lot better with the 3-4-3 because Conte has it in their heads to a key where to be positionally when we're defending when Manchester United or other teams are in around our box like that. We know how to defend it when we're in 3-4-3. And 3-5-2, it looks like they're still trying to figure that out and where positionally they need to be. And I think that's why Conte has been kind of holding his cards, being hesitant playing 3-5-2 so much, and it's more of a change the dynamics in mid-game kind of thing, and that's what he uses in his back pocket. But I agree, we do also defend better with a 3-4-3.
And Ribsy85, I think I'll be honest. I'm gonna be patient with the 3-5-2 today. It really isn't my favorite, but I'm gonna be patient with it today because I think it's what we basically have the best available to us to start the game with because of the injuries and whatnot. I just don't think we were afforded the luxury to begin with a 3-4-3. And today, Perisic hasn't maybe been as convincing for me going forward to think that he is maybe worth putting in a 3-4-3, but I don't know if we'll be able to survive with this for the whole 90 minutes. So you can tell I'm all over the place, Jerome, or sorry, Ribsy. And then Jerome with the super chat. We are way too deep again and giving them too much respect. We had to be more bold, like the Everton game. Too many sloppy passes. Again, I would agree on the sloppy passes. Absolutely there, Jerome. But just to be honest, though, Everton, I mean, the moment the game started, all they did was just put all 11 men behind the ball, where Man United didn't really do that. I think we put our influence on the game. I thought we started the game really well, Jerome, and we're trying to kind of bully them. We were trying to press them high, kind of cause them problems. Didn't end up getting any good kind of scoring opportunities or didn't end up really taking any advantage of scoring opportunities. But I feel like, Man United weren't going to put 11 men behind the ball. So it's just kind of a different game, Jerome. We aren't going to be able to just sort of ping it around them as much as we did against Everton. They are going to try to have their own influence on the game, Man United.
But it also comes down to the effort. Like, look at the effort we're putting in when they have the ball. We're just dropping off. We're literally just standing there like fucking statues. Let them pass it. Look at United when we have the ball. every single man that gets a touch on that ball, press, 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 press. And that's why we are seeing so many sloppy passes. Whereas if we actually try to engage higher up the pitch, which is what many people want the 3-5-2 for, so that midfield can actually engage higher up the pitch. Right now, we're sitting just as deep as we do in the 3-4-3. And that's not the way this formation is supposed to work. It's just not. Every single one of them needs to be better on the ball. They need to be more sharp and alert, knowing they're going to be pressed, rather than thinking they have the same time they had against Everton. But also, without the ball, they need to be more engaging. They need to be more proactive. They need to, I get it's Old Trafford and they're trying to sit in, but, you know, like we're just showing them way too much respect, Jack. Just like Jerome's saying, way too much. They were pressed. Their midfield and their backline were pressed by Brentford and Brighton, 4-0 down at half-time. Pressed by Newcastle at the week, showing up that they literally cannot pass out from the back. Yet we're sitting there making them look like prime Barcelona. It's not good enough.
Yeah, an effort level is probably where Jerome feels about it too. And I think Everton is set up differently, but I can't deny the effort levels because there have been times when I've been asking for these players to step out more, Dave. So you are right. Big up, Jerome, my man. Hopefully we can catch you soon on the fan show. And then Dolphins Cry. Welcome to the Flat Cap Army. He's picked up a membership. Big yourself up, Dolphins. Wes, you know, the game's about to get kicked off. Really appreciate you helping out, my man, at halftime. You're an absolute legend. Any sort of final words for us, brother?
I'm going to stick to the 3-5-2 formation for now. Let's see what it does. Hopefully, Conte put an earful in there in the halftime in the locker room, and let's see what they come out with in the first 15.
Absolutely. Cheers, Wes, my man. And
right.
I think we all wish we were in that halftime team talk to see what happened. And hopefully it was a good one. Big yourself up, my man.
Big up, Wes.
Appreciate it, guys.
Catch you, brother. Everybody, big up Wes in the chat. Show him some love. And then we have just gotten kicked off here as well, everybody.
Where's Shawnee today, Jacko?
I think Sean, he sent you a text, Dave, but yeah, he's not feeling well himself either.
Yeah, and you know what? James from Spurs related is the same thing. He's got the sore throat and all, like I've had the last few days.
Sonny, interception here. Yeah, it seems like something's going around.
This is better.
Tyler Gratzula, member for 6 months, Flat Cap member. If Lucas comes in, he will score or assist. Trust me, I mean, he could create chaos, and he did score a fabulous goal against Man United in the past. But
yeah, he scored. Did he not score 2 at Old Trafford before?
Yeah, he did, and he won the game for us, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, on the touch, wasn't it?
Oh no, who gave it away there? Moon Boots, poor header. Sancho, top of the box, Fred. And it got
my God. That is the sweatiest goal I've ever seen.
It's only 3 minutes. It's only a minute and a half in.
It's just only, it's
only a minute and a half in.
There, Jack. They're all standing there on the edge of the box. They're all standing there. Jesus, man.
It was a Dyer that gave it away as well. Please.
Whoever gave away the ball, but they're all fucking standing there watching them pass it around and run around them. Jesus Christ, look at that. Dyer shit ball. Fucking Ben Davies dropping off. Nose is coming inside. Doherty, in fairness, tries to engage. And then the midfielders, I mean, where are they? Where are the 3 centre midfielders that are supposed to be there? Where's Basuma? Oh, fuck me.
Oh, and it's... Who deflected that? Sticks out a leg. It was Ben Davies as well.
Yeah, the guy that let Anthony fucking pass it back inside when he's only got one way to go.
I'll be honest, I don't think Ben Davies...
Just do better. Just bloody do better. I'm sick of it. Just do fucking better, man.
Davies does not make that. I mean, I don't know if that shot's going in. I really don't. I mean, he just makes that go in. Ben Davies does with that deflection. He just helps that go in. Because I think that's headed right for Lloris, if I'll be honest.
It's just absolutely shit. Will you move outside?
Perisic here. Back post.
Oh, how are they winning that? They've got them penned in and we're just letting them play out.
Dyer, I think it was a Dyer and Davies. That's a Dyer and Davies just shit show. I'll be honest. That is a Dyer and Davies shit show.
Why is Langley not playing, though? He's 10 times better. Oh, my God. Who's that being given
Rashford's cooking him. No,
we deserve that. We deserve to beat them down. No. They deserve that. That's shocking by them 2 defenders over there.
It's two on. I mean, Dave, it's 2 defenders against 1.
What is that, Matt? What is that? Oh, we're so rattled. He's cutting in for the shot all day. Will someone move? We're so rattled. It's only 3 minutes outside half time. Look at Rashford here. Where's Perisic and Dyer? They're so... both of them standing off him, and the both of them got done by him. That's just absolutely shocking. And where's the energy levels, man? So waveform is shit. And then we're going to pass it around without trying to be creative whatsoever. Use Doherty.
Kane!
Oh!
Good effort.
Corner kick.
I think it just sailed wide.
Oh.
Good effort. Jeez. Oh, it was
Oh,
corner,
we did
Dave.
get a corner.
Wow. Oh.
I'm just so angry, man. So angry at that goal. It's just sloppy. Good ball. Fucking voice is starting to go again.
Sonny.
Oh my
Too
God.
much on
Oh.
that. He's just put everything behind that.
Oh, Jacko, it's going to be one of them evenings, lad. It's going to be one of them evenings. I just feel it brewing up today. Just feel it brewing up. It was going to be one of them days. A goal is so crap to concede, man. So angry at it. It's just so bad. 3 midfielders there, and literally he scored from the edge of the box. When you've got 3 midfielders there, that should actually be a crime. It should be a crime, Jack.
Yeah.
Paul Markey says Spurs too passive, no aggression. Perisic useless. Couldn't agree more. Too passive, not proactive, more reactive. Passing is shit. It's just been crap all around so far, if I'm being brutally honest. And this is what I keep telling people about this 3-5-2.
Yes, boy, Bjerg. Oh, sir! That's a yellow. That's a yellow.
No, you want to keep it in your pocket, do you? Oh, of course he does.
There you go.
Oh, about time. 10 minutes later. What's Casemiro doing? Shaking his head, and he's literally took him out after the ball's gone. Oh, well, he actually touched the ball.
Both get a yellow.
That goal just makes me angry.
Especially Fred scoring, says Skunk Works, frankly embarrassing. And Paul Markey, I mean, Perisic, if we do switch to the 3-4-3, I might even consider taking Perisic off.
Look, even if we have to do that, I don't care. There's no point sitting here in a 3-5-2, 1-0 down for the next 20, 25 minutes, not creating fuck all, no energy. No point having a third midfielder out there if not going to do anything. Just put the extra body up front.
Well done, Perisic. Doherty.
What is he incapable of
crosses it instead?
Literally, Doherty's incapable of swinging a ball in. Literally, you see Perisic going mad at him. Fucking put it in. You go mad at him. He's dead right too.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he was. It's not like he was. That was a good ball from Bentancur. It's not like he was obviously mad at Bentancur.
No, it was a good ball from Bentancur, but Doherty's at a better angle, Jack.
Yeah.
Put it in behind the back line. He's incapable of doing it. With Bentancur, you're always. It's one of them. Even if you get a header onto it, it's going to be a loopy header. Mm-hmm. You know, Doherty's at a better angle. Fucking whip it in. That's why Perisic is looking at him. He's just shaking his head. He's like, "What's wrong with you?" I've been here since I've been here. Doherty's had 3 occasions to put it in. He's passed it back all times, all 3 times. We're 1 down. What's passing it back going to fucking get you? Oh, Basuma. Oh my God. Oh, well done. This is more like it. That's how a midfield's supposed to operate. What is that? They have so much space on the ball. Someone punched that Ten Hag as well. We literally can't string 3 passes together up in the forward line. We need that third player in there. Good pressing by Sonny. Keep going, Sonny. Oh my God! Ben Davies are fucking getting on the ball. That's absolutely atrocious. Absolutely shocking. Get him off. Honestly, get him off. Put a pair of clogs on him. I can accept if he misplaces a pass with a pair of fucking clogs on him, Jack. I can't do it when he's wearing the best of the best football boots. Honestly, put him in high heels, I'd say, okay, look, fair enough. Not when he's wearing fucking football boots, specially made for his feet. It's ridiculous. Absolutely atrocious.
Sancho, so much time here. Well done by Romero. Great defending. Great. Wow, Romero, fabulous.
Good ball by Bentancur.
Into Kane. It's a tough pass to handle.
That's where we need someone on the right-hand side so he can flick it around the fucking corner.
Well, I mean, Bentancur only has 2 choices, Kane or Son.
That's it. How many more times do you want to count them passing the ball in front of your eyes, Bentancur, before you fucking move? They're literally starting to take the piss out of us 55 minutes in. Shem Tan says, we're making them look like a world-class team. Spot on. Bird's eye view. If we had God as manager, we would still find a way to mess it up. Couldn't agree more. Joseph, bring on Hill. Nick Coupland. Davies is having a shocker. Honestly, he's having a mare. This is what I keep saying to people. Just play Langley. Just play him.
Even, yeah. It just,
the guy, right?
The mistake, the mistake starts with Dyer, but it's just then capitulated by Ben Davies, which is sort of a classic combination. And you maybe then think to yourself, like, would someone like Longley then maybe repair Dyer's mistake?
But Jack, what have we spoke about here time and time again? We make one mistake, it's followed by another.
Yeah.
All the time. All of the time. You know? No one can say, look, you made a mistake, don't do it again, I covered your ass. No. Oh, you made a mistake? Master, why not? I'll fucking do one as well. Why not? You know? Like, the boots are literally specially made for these players' feet. And Ben Davies still cannot pass a fucking football. There's just no movement. There's not enough bodies up front when we get it up there to play in around. What is that?
I think 60th minute, he's going to have to bring somebody on. He's going to have to
if
go
I look
for
at
Lucas.
one more ball that goes into that forward line, and it doesn't do that, and I'm going to go crazy. I'm actually, especially when there's 3 midfielders standing there looking at them. I mean, break your bollocks and run off them. Fuck me, there's 3s in there. It's supposed to make your workload easier so you can get about more. If he takes one more heavy touch as well, that's 2 or 3 now. Look at them sitting in. Like, who are them midfielders picking up even when they're sitting there? Jack, who are they picking up? They're just sitting there watching them pass it around like they're not even picking up anybody move.
Skunkwork saying, and the worst part is that United are creeping up on us. This could be a 6-pointer for top 4.
Well, they're 7 points behind us. You know? 7 points. Now this will be what? 4 points behind us. And it's our own fault though, Jack. Put 3 midfielders in there. They're sitting there backing off, watching it be passed around, and they're not even picking anybody up. They're not even affecting the game. The whole idea is that their workload is supposed to be lightened, which gives them more license to be proactive about going and getting the ball and going forward. And they're standing there like statues. It's driving me insane. It's literally driving me crazy. And then,
my
this numpty
Lord,
does that.
Doherty gets lucky there. And it's a shocking touch.
Oh my! I'm
The
gonna
shot
cry today.
he is a shocking touch as well.
He's a shocking footballer. I'm getting an Ireland season ticket for the whole of next year, and I don't even understand why, because this idiot's going to be at right back every single fucking game. And I'm going to have to watch him do the same thing. Honestly, I should start taking bets on when he's going to put the ball in, because I'd make a fucking fortune, because it doesn't happen. What is that? Oh, that's a great ball.
It's a lovely ball. Perisic.
Oh,
And he has a heavy touch now.
God.
Just somebody needs to have a good touch.
Oh,
Basuma,
that's
that
the fourth
is
time in a row.
the 12th.
Take him off, Jack. That's number 4 in a row now when the balls come to him. 4 in a fucking row. Why is he wearing his fucking boots? Canoes. Honestly, is he wearing canoes? My Lord. Honestly, Jesus Christ. If you'd done that on Sunday League, you'd be brought up into court and sentenced to 3 days in prison. Bentancur, just pick him up.
I'd say right now, Larissa is the man of the match.
Basuma's new nickname is fucking Canoe Boots. Until he learns to get a touch and fucking move the ball, his nickname is literally staying as Canoe Boots. I do not care. He's pissing me off. 4 times the ball's come into him this half, and 4 times it's bounced off him like it's a fucking concrete wall. Honestly, someone put some fucking cushion on him.
Deo, this is one of those examples where 3-5-2 isn't always the answer. We actually should go 3-4-3 when we do drop deep. The wingers can almost play like a 5-4-1 and cover the width. And that was brought up earlier by the likes of Arne Anderson there, Deo, where the 5-4-1, when you do look at it on paper, you can still cover lots of the midfield. Those wingers sort of drop deep and do form a 4-man midfield. But then Kane, when the ball gets into him or into other forwards, they have more options going forward. They still always have the wing backs, as we do know, but the midfielders aren't as responsible for going forward. And it is more the responsibility of those wingers to do the work. And with Sonny and Kane, I don't really know if they've done really a whole lot wrong, actually, so far, Sonny and Kane. They've actually just not gotten much service whatsoever.
There's no help, Jack.
They've done well with the service they have been given, to be fair. And it's really just more the rest of the players that need to find.
Oh my God! Oh, no! I want to strangle him so bad. It's a simple 5-yard pass. Simple. I actually want to. Oh, I want to strangle him.
Højbjerg. Sir!
That is a 5-yard ball by Doherty to a free man in the middle, and he gives it away. He's got to be colorblind. He's actually just got to be colorblind, Jack. I think I've solved his problem. He's colorblind. He doesn't know he's passed it to. Again, what's that long haul? Like, do you know what? I actually feel sorry for Kane and Son, Jack. Any ball that's come into them, it's either been shitting nowhere near them, or else when it does come into them, they're like, what are they supposed to do? There's no one moving off them to look for it back. Absolutely nobody. We need an extra body in midfield, out wide or out on the right, and start asking questions of them. Right now, it's too easy. One picks up Son, one picks up Kane, and that's it. We're dealt with.
Michael, the wall of my house I used to practice my shooting with had more flair than some of our players.
Yep.
Stevie Frazier says, believe. Shamu Van Spurs says, subs. 62 minutes in. I hope there are some subs ready. But like I said, when is he going to pick his moment to go for the game? He's already 1-0 down. He's going to have to do it sooner than I thought he would. And yet again, though, like kind of so similar to the Gooners game, Shamu, where it's just so ridiculous that Spurs have found a way again. Going in after halftime, I mean, they get to halftime 0-0, right where you probably kind of want to be, to be fair. If you're not going to be 2-0 up, 1-0 up, you would love to be 0-0 at halftime. It's exactly what, a team was looking for away from home in a game like this. But the fact that 2 times now, like in the case of Arsenal and Man United that we've gone down within a minute or 2 or 3 minutes after halftime. It's actually quite shocking, to be fair. What's the whole point of even seeing it out in the first half if you're only going to go down 2 minutes into the start of the second half? Højbjerg here, oh, poor touch.
We're sitting too deep. Anytime one of our players gets on the ball, we've no out ball. No out ball whatsoever. I'm sorry, I can't sit here for the next 30 minutes and watch our midfield tree just sitting like that. And then do you know what? And then it's just not working actually even going forward. Fuck me, that's some lightning. Because anytime they touch the ball, Jack, they're giving it away because it's bouncing off them like the concrete walls. So it's not working defensively. It's not working for them going forward. So fucking make substitutions and sort it out. Like, look at Basuma. There's no intensity to get out to him there whatsoever. Look at him. He's sauntering around. It's more like it. Who's that? Romero. With that. Oh, my God.
Well done, Ben. Lightwork member for 6 months. Flat Cap member, pick up Lightwork. I think I'll stick with the 3-4-3. I'll take back what I said.
I keep telling people about this 3-5-2. It's not as good as people make it out to be. It's not as attacking as people made it out to be. I've tried telling people the extra forward player is a good option for us to have. What's the difference between Bentancur and Højbjerg in the midfield two and from what you've seen from a midfield three today, Jack?
But at the same time, Paul Markey follows up with a super chat saying main problem is that we are playing a 5-3-2 and not a 3-5-2. That's what he says.
Yeah. Look, I'm sorry, but no one's going to tell me that our midfield has worked hard enough today on the ball or off the ball.
Okay, good. Oh, did he give a
Nobody.
foul there?
It's the problem right now. It's a bigger problem than what we think. As soon as the ball goes into Kane or Son, there's no one off them. There's no wing backs. There's no midfielders pushing up to support them. What are they supposed to do? They're isolated up there. It's pointless.
Ribsy85 says, yep, time for some subs or something.
Like
or
a long
anything.
ball straight down the middle there. That's absolutely shambolic. That's just one long ball down the middle. And they're ripped open.
I think we do need to put on Brian Hill or Lucas.
We do.
Because here's the thing, Dave, is that I think Sonny and Kane have actually had good hold-up play when they've had it. So you have to guarantee that if they continue that, all we need is just an extra forward to help them out. What you probably might go for is actually maybe a Lucas, if you really want to be honest, because what Lucas could do is, receive the ball deep, beat his man, and get something going for Kane and Son here. But Kane, lovely touch, lovely bit of hold-up play. I think we need to bring on Lucas. As much as I want to go for Hill, Dave, I think, well, here's the thing. I mean, they're both natural right wingers. They're both natural right wingers. So who do you go for? I think you go for Hill. I think you go for Lucas. I do think you go for Lucas.
Either or, I do not care. I just want someone that can help us press that back line when they get the ball, which means the midfield can push up and hopefully do their job if they stop being lazy. And I just want someone else up there that when we get the ball up there, we can actually play it to.
Marcelo wants Hill. And I mean, I'm the biggest Hill Messi fan there is, but I mean, is this the game for Hill Messi? I would love to think so, but it does seem like a lot of pressure.
Has to be better than what we're seeing. Either of them has to be better than what we're seeing.
There's no pressure, maybe, with how shit it's been going, says Dave.
All they've got to do is control the ball once, pass it to a guy in the same colored shirt, and they've done more than what's out there. Perisic.
All in!
Oh, if he didn't win that with two players standing there.
His crosses have been so short today, Perisic. They're always just
that light.
Here we go. Time and space again for him, though, here. Here we go. Skin him. Lovely. Oh, okay!
No!
Kane!
Should be 1-1. It's offside. He's giving the offside flag. Of course, he's giving the offside flag.
Oh, I feel like he took it down well there, and I thought he was going to bury that.
It was offside anyway. The fucking linesman had his flag up the knob.
Oh.
How's he not winning that?
Well, Bruno.
2-0. There you go. That's shocking. That's absolutely bullshit. When you're going to put in a half-hearted slide tackle like that and everyone else standing around watching you, what do you expect? I mean, what do you expect? Like, how are we sitting here up until 68 minutes, already one down, being just being so negative? How are we not? How are these players not? Like, even if Conte doesn't make a substitution, why aren't these players switching on and going and pressing people, being proactive and trying to win the ball back? I said it. If we sit back in this 3-5-2, we're going to get done, and we've been done twice.
No.
I give up. I fucking give up. Like, even if Conte doesn't make subs, the players have to do more. Players just have to do more. And now this guy's celebrating like fucking Sir Ferguson. It's embarrassing. Yeah, he's off there anyway. It's just shambolic. Absolutely shambolic. Honestly, this away form has to, like, someone's got to be changed as captain, Jack. They've just got to. Like, you know, there's no player out there that feels like they can step up and speak and roar at people and get people going because Numpty in goals is fucking captain. You know? There's a number of issues that have to be sorted out with this away form. First of all, just stop being so mentally weak and shit. And second of all, get someone out the field that's captain. I'm just going to fucking turn off my camera for a second. I'm just going over here to close that window. There's thunder and lightning.
It's just the 3-5-2 got us into halftime 0-0. It just felt like you needed to go for the 3-4-3 if we are going to score goals.
Barely.
Kane and Son had less service than they ever did in the second half. They just had no service whatsoever. Here we go, though. Kane. Yeah, you're right. To be fair, they did have chances to score in the first half.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm not celebrating barely getting in at halftime 0-0, sitting back on the edge of our own box. I mean, that's not something to celebrate. You're talking about the weakest United team I've seen since I was born in 1991. You know? I'm not giving the excuse that I got us into halftime at 0-0. Bollocks. We were camped in on the edge of our own box, and everybody at halftime called it. We're going to go down if we keep playing this way. Basuma with his hand over his head. If he didn't give away the ball fucking 4 times on the trot, we might have actually scored one, idiot. Oh, fuming. At least now we can stop with this fucking nonsense of the 3-5-2 bollocks.
Sonny. Sir!
Oh, I can't believe he just hasn't given that. In fact, we've got 3 in midfield and they're still waltzing through it. They have so much space in that midfield. It's disgraceful. Yep, just camp another 3. Basuma, he might go out. Half-hour. Do you see that, Jack? He's lining up for a shot, and Basuma is sauntering out to him. I mean, where's the urgency 2-0 down? Take him off. He's been fucking atrocious since I've got here. He's been absolutely atrocious. Been shit on the ball and shit off the ball. We still haven't made any subs and we're 2-0 down. It's like we're just going to sit here and accept.
Yeah, that's the
problem.
Oh,
he's got absolute lead on. It's like we're just going to sit here and accept being 2-0 down.
I mean, it's bad.
One mistake compiled by another. I mean, when are they just going to get...
Brad is just also just pickpocketed. Romero's having now a mare. Romero's having a mare now. Oh my. Hugo has saved us from a 4-0 here. Hugo has saved us from a 4-0 here.
I just
Romero,
want to
that's
turn it down.
Romero
It's
could have
embarrassing.
conceded a goal for us there, Dave. I'm sorry now. Now it's Dyer, Davies, and Romero. It's the whole back line. It's
The
the
whole,
whole back
the
line
whole
now have
back line,
conceded a
the
goal
whole
because it's
midfield,
in the first one, Dave, it's Dyer. And now the in the second one, it's Davies.
100%. But Jack,
And now
ask the
it's
question.
Romero. I mean, Romero got away with one there. He got away with one there. I mean, they could have all conceded their own goal in their own right.
Fully
Hugo
agree,
is, I
Jack.
mean, Dave, Hugo's the only, he started a little nervous, but he's the only one that can hold his head high today, and that's a shame.
Fully agree, Jack. But why aren't we asking the
Oh my
question?
God. Now
How
they're
are they
winning it at
getting?
the near post as well. Matt Doherty, Jesus Christ.
But Jack, we've got to ask the question: how are they loading up with chances the way they are when we've got another three sitting directly in front of them doing fuck all? Like they're literally just sitting there. How are we being so opened? How?
Hugo's masterclass has been wasted in this game, says Peter Kipp.
Well, we can't even get out the back. Oh my God, who was that? And United are 2-0 up and they're making a sub before us. Fucking embarrassing. I'm actually livid today. I'm
Need better
actually
players, not a
livid.
better formation, says Tequila. Shirai says we have Conte here intending to lose. I don't think he is not intending to lose, Shirai.
Look, I'm not going to get into this bollocks of getting on Conte's back again either after this. It's not going to happen. I trust Conte. I mean, for me, it's just purely down to players' efforts. I mean, you can't blame Conte or anybody else that's not on the playing pitch for not being able to control the ball and pass it 5 yards to a player in
I
the
just
same
don't.
color shirt. You can't blame a guy
Everybody
for
called for
putting
the
the ball back
3-5-2
to
though, Dave.
players.
Like everybody called for the 3-5-2 today. Like every single person and their mother called for
Not
the
me.
3-5-2 today. And he did
Not me.
exactly. He obliged. He obliged. And I think he rightfully obliged because he had no players available with Richarlison and Kulusevski both hurt. And also Lucas has only just got back from injury, let's be honest as well. He really just doesn't have any players to work with going forward. And so he kind of rightfully obliged to what, fans wanted him to do in this 3-5-2.
I
It just
honestly,
didn't do exactly what they thought it all would do. And I think a lot of it does come down to players' effort. I think you're right. You're probably right. I think a lot of it does come down to players' effort because I don't know. I mean, we have coaches doing 2-hour segments on it, thinking that it would be the, solution to all of our problems. But I mean, today we've just seen that it's not really so clear cut and simple.
it's not. Of course, it's not. People try and tell me, oh, it's attacking. Yeah, that attacking, you're taking a 4-player out and putting them in and holding the midfield role. That's how attacking it is. And look, I actually surprised Jack. I thought he would have went Session left wing back to deal with Anthony. I thought he would have pushed Perisic up into one of the forward areas. I genuinely believed he would have went with the 3-4-3 and done that today. He didn't. But look, at the end of the day, I'm not blaming Conte. Like I said, I can't blame Conte for players standing there, not willing to press the ball. He's put 3 in midfield to block up that defence, and literally all United have done is pop shots off, pop the ball around, not being engaged. Players misplaced passing it. How many times have I seen that since I got here? At least 25 to 30 times. I mean, I'm sorry, but you can't blame anybody else but them today. They're the ones out there. Or where's the leader at 1-0 down saying, come on, guys, get your fucking head together. Game's not over. Let's go and affect the game now. Where was that? It wasn't. They continue to do the same thing. And guess what? 2-0 down, we're still continuing to do the same thing. For me, you can't put that on anybody else. That's simply down to the players. Doherty in the first half, or since I've been here, has had a few occasions. Put the ball, touch with the right foot on the outside, swing it in. What does he do? Pulls it back every single time. Of course, we're not going to create chances when he won't fucking put the ball in the box. At least Emerson tries to put it in the box. He won't. And I don't want to hear anybody defend him today because Perisic literally turned around to him. And you've seen it, Jack. He bollocked him. He's looking at him, throwing his hands up in the air. Why aren't you putting the ball in the box? You can't blame anybody else. You've got to blame the players today. It's absolutely shocking. The effort is appalling.
Randy Leahy from Trailer Park Boys celebrating 8 months as a fan show member. Randy, I mean, feel free to come on, my man. If you're especially in the trailer park, he says, where the fuck are the subs, Dave? Sonny! Oh,
I don't get it either. I'm surprised we didn't make a sub after.
I think
1-0
that's where,
down.
again, though, Dave, like, as much as I'm not going to pin all this on Conte, I think it's, again, though, like, he doesn't, he doesn't exude all blame from it, though. Like, he
No, he doesn't.
definitely
He
has
couldn't
to,
make.
he
Look,
definitely has to look at the 3-4-3, and you were calling for the 3-4-3 at halftime, Dave. You even said it should come on sooner than I even said it should. So if anyone should feel justified about the 3-4-3, I think you wanted it to happen at halftime. And he just didn't go for it. And I think you can criticize him for that, but obviously it's going to probably, the criticisms are going to go a lot deeper than that, as we do know, but which I think is unfair. But
I do question.
I agree with Randy. I think the subs, the lack of subs and everything, it's basically just accepting the 2-0. In fact, there was an opportunity to go for the subs to maybe make it 1-1, but I think the more you kept these players on, the more it was going to be 2-0 here. And that's a great defensive movement by Perisic there. He saved us again.
But that's the thing. As soon as we went 1-0 down and it hasn't been working for like the guts of 40,
you can't stick with it. You can't stick with it.
You've got to change it. Yeah. You've got to. Honestly, I couldn't care if you pulled off Jed Spence and put him up on right wing. Just put someone out there that's going to ask a question. United going the other way. You know? It's too late to be making 4 substitutions now. What's that going to do? 2-0 down with 10 minutes to go. Should have been done when we were 1-0 down or when it was 0-0. Like we sat here at halftime and said it. We can't continue to play like this. And look, even if we want to stay the same formation, somebody's going to have to start engaging that ball and trying to push us higher up the field with engagement. And they all sat off. Now, if we knew it was coming, how the fuck did they not know it's coming? I mean, football's an easy game, Jack. All it takes sometimes is one person to lead the way. Push up, press, turn around, scream at his teammates to get up with him. The next guy then will go with you the next time. Then the next guy will go with you. It's all it takes. It's not rocket science, you know?
Michael saying 89th minute 4-man sub by Conte to seal the scoreline, question mark. I mean, it's kind of.
I mean, what's that to Sonny again?
I mean, what's the guy's of the substitutions, and I can't get you wrong, Michael.
So many things wrong today.
Spineless performance. Chris is in the chat.
Yep, completely gutless and spineless. You know. Oh my God,
no.
that is absolutely shocking. How is he getting that much time?
How is he getting that much time?
We got 3-0. He's offside. No? Yeah.
But still, it should be 4-0. It should be 4-0. Like there's no going about it. Hugo will save us.
He could be on here. Ben Davies doesn't even know he's there. He doesn't even know he's there. That's unbelievable. He hasn't a clue he's there. You literally telling me he hasn't had a glance over his shoulder thinking, oh, hang on, there might be a runner going in behind me because I am a defender. Basuma, I'm not even giving him applause. He was shit.
No, I don't think anyone gets applause, Dave. I think Sonny and Kane, honestly, I don't even know if they do, but they didn't get enough service. But I don't even think Sonny and Kane.
They do, though? You're pumping balls up to them. No one in there to support them. No one running off them.
Honestly, Dave, though, like with that concept in mind, Dave, pumping balls up to them, they've actually had some good touches today, like for that. Yeah. And they've been able to like bring it under control and do the very best with it they can. So, I mean, I can't even be mad at the forwards because the forwards have had no service whatsoever.
What can they do? Like, you know, what can they do? I've been there.
And even Dave, even the service they have got, I've been like, wow, pretty nice touch, pretty nice hold up play by either of them. And
again, I've been there, Jack. Sometimes you're just looking at the rest of your team and you're like, just please, I actually don't care what you do for the rest of the game. Please just give me one ball into my feet, just one. Are you capable of it? You know, let alone putting fucking 40-yard long balls in behind them, knowing they're never going to get on the end of it.
I just feel like this Lucas substitution should have come on so much longer ago. This Lucas substitution should have come on so much longer ago.
Like, here's the thing, though, Jack. If you're going to play long balls, get Kane to go on to Martinez, play long diags to Kane, and get Sonny running off in behind. It's not rocket science. You're going to win it all day against the midget. Do you know what, Romero? Just pull his fucking ear. I'm sick of these United players going down now, wasting time. Who came off for Session? Doherty. Rightly so. Fucking ball in the forward there and he wants to pass it back all the time. Piss off. For the week, he should literally be made, given a bag of balls, put targets around the football pitch and say, fucking hit them. And you're not doing any other training with the team until you hit every fucking single one of them. Lucas Moura doesn't look like he fucking wants the ball. What is that? Do you know what, Jack? This one's actually just painful today. This one actually hurts. It's the manner of the performance. Even 2-0 down, we still can't string 3, 4, 5 passes together. It's actually like, again, what's the attacker supposed to do with that? This one actually hurts. It's been so bad. Like, you're thinking, Man United, big game. Surely you've got to be up for it at least. At the very least.
Level Earth says a big reality check for us.
It's not even for us fans. It's a fucking reality check for them numpties out there today, to be honest with you. I mean, fans can't affect the game. It's them out there. No running, off the ball or on the ball, shit touches. You know what I mean? Already the last couple of minutes, we have more options going forward. Oh, that's naughty from Varane. Oh my God.
What a touch.
Holy fuck. Honestly, if this was an underage game, I'd walk off. I'd actually just walk home. You know, Dave, how'd you get on watching the underage today? Shit, can't control the ball, can't pass the ball, can't watch it. You know, this is worse. Hold on.
Bentancur has put in more crosses today than Doherty.
Yeah. Do you know why, Jack? Because he can
Actually
take the ball
shocking.
first.
And people roast Emerson for his crossing. At least at the end of the day, he puts in a bloody cross.
At
least he puts in a bloody cross. Doherty had all the space and time all day today. And there have been 3 separate times where Bentancur has put in the cross instead for him.
Jack,
And he's done it first time, Dave. And the fact when you see a center midfielder put in the ball first time for a cross, that means he's pissed at the wingback for not doing it himself. Jesus.
There is absolutely nothing worse than seeing
That's
a
the
winger
4th
or a
time I've
fullback
seen Bentancur do that. That's the 4th time. And I mean, now that Sessegnon on, like, I mean, he's left-footed. I mean, I couldn't care less anymore. But I mean, it just shows. It's the 4th time I've seen Bentancur do that today, where he's just gone for a first-time ball in cross, which just means then that the wingback should be skinning his man and trying to put one in. I mean, as people love to roast Emerson Day, but at least he fucking tries to put a ball in.
Jack, at least he attempts it. You know, look, if it doesn't, look, I get angry when it doesn't come off. I get it. But, I mean, I get even more angry when you refuse to put it in. Like, refuse to put it in. Like, if you're a forward player and you're Harry Kane, why would you bother making a run when he gets the ball? Why? You're eventually just going to stop making them runs because you know it's not going to come in. So what's the point? What is the point of having him out there bursting forward, too out attacking stuff to try and put the ball in the box? And then he fucking refuses every single time. He just goes, no, Bentancur, you could be responsible for this one because I want to stat pad like Winks fucking taught me when the idiot was here. You know? Bullshit. Fucking, I keep saying this to people. You get no rewards for being no risk taking in possession. You take risks in forward areas, the rewards will come. And that risk is putting the ball in the box. Again, 3 midfielders, and again, acres of space on the edge of it.
I mean, they kind of have sort of took the playbook from Arsenal, it looks like, Dave, where they've just camped at least 3 players at the top of the box. And even when we had 3 midfielders there, it just still overwhelmed us.
Comes down to the energy levels of the midfielders, though, Jack. You know, that's what it comes down to. Look, Højbjerg and Bentancur have tried to get around the pitch. They've tried. It's just been to no avail. You know, but Basuma just fucking sitting there, even when the ball's 2 yards in front of him, he's just cantering over. I'm sitting there, I'm like, hang on, do you fucking want to play for Tottenham Hotspur? Okay, well then prove it to me. You know, do something. And I will share, I'm just warning people now, I am going to share my thoughts after the game. And it's not me being super negative, it's me calling what I see here today. And that's all it is. I mean, there's absolutely nothing to be positive about. Not one thing. So many things wrong today. Oh, Ronaldo's walking down the tunnel. Oh my God. It's not going to end well for United. Did you see that, Jack?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, Ronaldo's just walked off down the tunnel.
Did not made it all about him somehow.
Did not look happy.
He's made it all about him somehow in a 2-0 win for them, where honestly, they've dominated us since the 19th minute.
I'd be pissed too, though, if I was him. You know, top scorer last season, one of the only players that really gave.
I wouldn't, Dave. I mean, they've dominated us 2-0 at home. After he played in that 0-0 game, he started in that game against Newcastle, Dave. Look at the difference between this game. I said also in the when I came on live, Dave, I said I would have rather Ronaldo started because Ronaldo took in part in that 0-0 draw against United. Rashford didn't. Rashford has been their best player so far this season, playing in that striker position. Look how much better they've played when they've had Rashford at striker instead of Ronaldo. So if anything, Dave, I'll be honest, I wish that Ronaldo had started, and you can clip me in the beginning of the game before even the minute had been clipped up. I said I would have rather Ronaldo had started.
Yeah.
And so there you are. And if anything, Dave, I think he's just made it all about himself. They played brilliant today against us since the 19th minute. I'll be honest, we dominated them for the first 20, but since then, I mean, they just kicked our ass, Dave, and, you know, have dominated us in every way. I think Rashford has also had a great game, should have scored today, you know, or at least should have scored probably a hat trick, to be fair. So I'll be honest, I think he's just made it all about him for no reason. Great touch by Sonny.
Like, again, go on, Sonny.
He's just got nobody.
Like, he's having the whole.
He's just got nobody. You can tell by his eyes, Dave. He just has nobody.
No help whatsoever. I mean,
I
it's
can
just
tell by his eyes there. I mean, they cut to him, so we didn't know what was in front. Oh, come on, Spence.
Go on, Spence.
It's just something we've been looking for all day. At least we know Emerson and him will do that. Emerson and him will try that. Lovely, Lucas.
At least he fucking tried there, you know, at least.
Paul Markey says, fact is we've gone backward from last year. Poor signings in total, says Paul Markey.
Nah, look, we've got...
I would love to have had these players last year, Paul. I think you're kind of kidding yourself. I would have loved to have had these players last year.
We've got to learn to stop it. We've got to learn to stop doing this. Every time we lose, blame the transfer window, blame this, blame that. Sometimes just hold your hands up and just say, look, we weren't fucking good enough today. We weren't at it. I don't get how we can blame the transfer window. We've had our best start since 1963. I
don't know how anybody last season would have said they wouldn't have wanted Basuma. Especially, Dave, when nobody liked Højbjerg last season. Everybody was shitting on Højbjerg every single game, so they definitely would have taken Basuma last season. They definitely would have taken Richarlison last season. There are some people, Dave, when I even asked them plenty of questions for probably multiple, I mean, this, as long as this channel's been alive, Dave, I've asked certain people questions. Oh, what would be your ideal transfer no matter what to bring into the club? Oh, a backup number 9 for Harry Kane. And we've done that with Richarlison. So for some people, that should be a brilliant move, but yet they've somehow denied what they've said in the past.
But this year was all about filling out the squad. Surely we're not all naive to that.
A lot of people's even transfer demands were met in this summer, especially when it comes to the backup number 9.
Like, sometimes you just got to hold your hands up and just say, look, we were shit today. We were just nowhere near good enough, you know?
Pick up Paul Markey. I disagree, my man, though. I have to disagree with you, though. I have to be honest. I would have loved to have all these players that we have now last season.
Like, who
I
did we
think you're
play
allowed
today?
to
That
say, I
was
think you're
like,
allowed to say, I'll completely accept the argument, Paul, that if you think we should have done more, I think you're allowed to say that. I think you're completely well entitled to say we should have done more. But to say that some of these signings have been shit, I'll be honest, I think that's just too early and just too impatient, if you ask me. And
what new
also, I would have
signings?
taken these
What
players
new
last
signings
season.
did
I
we
would have
have out
taken
there?
these players last season because most of these players had a lot of merit as well. Like Richarlison had a lot of merit last season. Basuma, everybody raved about the guy last season.
For me, it literally comes down to the player's effort today, on and off the ball. It's what it comes down to. You know, it's just simple. It's there you are. It's over. 2-0 to Man United. Absolutely shit result, shit performance, not good enough. On the ball, off the ball, 3-5-2 does not work. Simple.
Moondog, I can't watch this crap no more. It's embarrassing, he says, with a super chat. And Moon Boots couldn't even give you a bit of a solitary moment for a goal as well, Moondog. And he also, honestly, I think had a merit defensively. Moon Boots did, and I've been actually backing your guy, Moon Boots,
They all did.
defensively. I've been backing him defensively this season. He had a merit today. He had an absolute merit today.
Jack, what did I say? What did I say all along? Sit here and praise these guys all you want and back them up and everything else. These are the games where they're let us down. Did I or did I not say that all along?
Moondog also follows up with another super chat. He says, "We got exactly what we deserved. Nothing. Yep. It's a joke. It's like watching Nuno again."
Today was absolutely shambolic, Jack. Absolutely shambolic. Balls bouncing off the players. I mean, you can't even control a ball now. You can't even control and pass it 5 yards. Don't want to hear any more of this shit about Doherty. Refuses to put the ball in the box. Perisic, not great the other side. Midfield three, the whole idea of having that midfield three is to engage their midfield, higher up the pitch, turn the ball over, and try and keep them camped in their half. What is the point in playing three in midfield if we're going to sit on the edge of our box just like we do in the 3-4-3? But as well, do you want to know how the midfield three didn't work today? 3 midfielders in there to protect that back line. How many times did we get opened up time and time and time again because of it? And it's not easy to work out why. Go and look at Basuma. Refusing. There was one time there at the second half, they had a corner, one of the players had the ball, and he's just standing there in front of him. Go and put in a tackle. Win that ball back. You're fucking 1-0 down. Højbjerg, Bentancur, shit. Højbjerg, shit on the ball today. I love the player. Shit on the ball today. Defense all over the place. Once one makes a mistake, it's followed by a second. Romero, crap today. Dyer, crap today. Davies, crap today. I felt sorry for Kane and Son. Isolated all day long. Put balls into them, trying to hold them up. No runners breaking forward to help them. No one running in behind to give them an option. They're just left there on their own. How we did not change it after going 1-0 down, or even someone out there just turning around to everybody and saying, fuck me, boys. We're at 11 points with City here. What's your ambition? Show it now on the football pitch. And we didn't. We just sat back, pulled our trousers down, and let them have their fucking way with us.
A lot of people, I think, spoke about this game ahead of time, saying that this was essentially going to be either a game where Spurs kind of believed the hype that was behind us going into things and going into this game, that the hype was valid, that the hype was there for a reason if they had gotten a result of some kind. And the way that this has gone today, it just is the opposite. It just makes you then question all of it and where it's coming from, maybe to begin with. And while I think this was a shocking performance and probably does make you want to question and rethink a lot of things, and you do have to take a big step back and start to look at sort of results and start to look at what needs still to be done and what can go better. But
Jack, what's the problem?
I sort of feel you on. I feel you on the effort part, Dave, because this is exactly what Spurs fans wanted. This is exactly what we all expected it to go in terms of the formation, in terms of the personnel. This is everything what they wanted: Doherty, Basuma, etc. Kane and Son front two. Everything that everybody wanted, or at least the majority of Spurs fans wanted. And now we find ourselves still pulling our hairs out, which sort of then just either points to an effort from the players, it points to a lack of understanding from them, or it just points to just I don't know. you think you know what I'm trying to say here, Dave, is that
Yeah.
Conte has not shown inflexibility in this one. And so I'm not going to really find myself blaming Conte apart from the substitutions. I think the substitutions were dreadful from his standpoint. I think he had a chance to equalize this game, actually, if he had brought on maybe a Lucas sooner. That's all. I think that's really the only change you need to make. Maybe Sasnion comes on for Perisic because Perisic, I think, blew the chances he had going forward as a wingback. But I think Conte, Dave, I mean, the only blame he really takes in my part in this one is the substitutions. But don't get me wrong, I think that does take a huge blame because as much as Spurs were getting battered at stages, I think they could have equally, gotten back into it with the likes of a Lucas inclusion and maybe a Session inclusion early into the game. And I think that could have made a huge stride in maybe
Here's
being
why it's
able to
not
get back
Conte.
into the game. The fact that he stuck with the same thing basically buried us. The fact that he stuck with the same thing made it inevitable for it to become a worse result, for it to become a 2-0. And so that's where I get frustrated with Conte. But the way we started out, the way we set up, the way we began, it's exactly what everybody wanted. So I think we all have to remember that to begin with.
But here's why it's not Conte's fault. How can we be so on and off in the 3-5-2? Look at the games we played this season in it. We've been good and we've been terrible. Same in the 3-4-3. You can't blame Conte for that. You can't blame him. He's trying to fit players in to make a system work where we look cohesive. But when the levels of performance are so far up and down, that's not on him. That's on the players out there. And we can sit here, we can blame Conte, we can blame the transfer window, we can blame what we want. At the end of the day, the window's closed, the players on the pitch are out there, and they've just got to do better. They've got to stand up and be fucking counted. It's not going to be given to you away at Old Trafford. You've got to go and earn it. And we didn't. We sat there and literally just let them have our way with us. Spank one cheek, spank the other cheek. Why not? You know what I mean? It's absolutely shambolic. The energy level of the players on and off the ball is just not there. Just not there. They're popping balls around the edge of our box like it's a fucking bag of pills. You know what I mean? It's just shot after shot, recycling after recycling. Playing in, and we have 6-7 players camped there. And you're seeing sometimes a little ball in between them and back out, and they're creating chances. Going forward, nobody getting forward to help Son and Kane. Absolutely nobody. Anytime the ball came into them, they're having to slow everything down, or else it's a shit ball where it's bouncing off them. It's like, what are you supposed to do if you don't have anyone breaking from midfield? But the reason why they're not breaking and getting up to play is because they're camped so deep. It's down to energy levels and players' performance today. Sit here and blame Conte all we want. Best start in 63 years. From Conference League to Champions
all
League.
that going into this game.
Blaming this guy. The problem is we think we know best. We call for all these formations, etc., etc., etc. How on earth do we think a 3-5-2 is more attacking when you're literally taking out an attacking player and putting him in a holding midfield role? I don't get it.
Mark says, Dave and Jack, our number one priority going forward from today is getting Dyer replacement in January. We've got, I guess, the Davies replacement in Longley. And I sort of tried to rationalize the Davies role because what I said is that if we are going to go 3-5-2 today, we know we're not going to have enough runners going forward. What we do know is that Longley likes to sit a bit deeper. Ben Davies likes to make those sort of runs going forward. If that was sort of the logic behind it, I think it made sense in the first half with what Ben Davies was doing. But then he started becoming a liability defensively. And Longley so far this season hasn't been a liability defensively. And so you have to take that into consideration. Going against a team like Man United, where you know you are capable of conceding goals, Ben Davies took a huge part in one of the goals that we did concede. Would Longley have taken a part in that in the same way? I'd like to think he wouldn't. I actually think he probably would have cleaned up a whole lot better than Ben Davies would have. I think initially, though, I sort of saw the logic, Dave, and I want your kind of thoughts on that, just because with the 3-5-2, like you have laid out plenty of times, we knew there weren't going to be enough runners. We knew there weren't going to be enough people going forward. Maybe he thought Ben Davies, bit more mobile than someone like Longley, probably more comfortable kind of abandoning the back line and going forward than maybe a Longley, but it sort of cost us in the defensive aspect.
Jack, you know my thoughts on Ben Davies. Look, you want someone agile? Go and get me in a gymnast. Honestly, go and get me a gymnast. You could be agile, but you've also got to learn to be able to control the ball and pass a football. Langley is 10 times better on that. I don't want a guy put in there just simply because he's agile. Go and get me a fucking gymnast, like I just said. I want a guy that can play football, like that can actually do the basics. Langley passing range. You have Langley in there, you get a better passer range, and you probably transition the ball out from the back easier. You got Ben Davies. I said it against Fulham. Every time that guy got the ball, he came back inside to Dyer. We failed to transition it properly down the left-hand side when he plays because he doesn't feel comfortable moving the ball to someone that potentially, when there's a player that potentially could come in and nick it. Whereas Langley, no problem. I'll just dink it over him. I'll move it round him. And this is the problem. It's such a drop-off in quality to Langley. It just is. I don't care what anybody tells me. It just is. You know, the whole idea with Conte being here is so we can start to play out from the back and transition from the back. What's the point of playing a guy that should be fucking wearing Canoes as football boots? The boots are specially made for his feet, especially the design around his feet, special materials in them and everything else. And the guy still can't pass a ball. So do you know what I'd do the next game, Jack? I'd get him step into the 2 Canoes, tape them on him, and I'd say, now go out and play. And I don't want to hear any excuses. You can't do it in a pair of cleats, so you're going to try and go out and do it in Canoes. At least you might be able to fucking do better. It's not good enough. It's just not good enough whatsoever. Langley has to play in that back line if you want to play a passing game out from the back. He's just got to.
Paul Markey following up after what I said, and challenged him in the transfer window. He said, name one signing who's impressed so far this season. Paul Markey, I think you're just going to use the benefit of hindsight here. And I think I'm happy to use it later on you, probably about 2 months from now when one of these signings proves you
Langley.
absolutely wrong, Paul.
Langley.
But on top of that, what I would say is Longley, exactly, Dave, has proven to already be a better center back than Ben Davies. And especially if we do Simon on a permanent, I think it would be an absolute right deal because we probably wouldn't get him for very much at all. At the same time, he's also shown, Longley has very much shown and proven that while he may be a center back that's sort of like on the comeback, Paul, he's proven the difference between the likes of Ben Davies and Eric Dyer. He shows, he is the same quality as them, if not better. In fact, and he's sort of a center back that's supposed to be on the decline or a center back that's supposed to be kind of recovering his career. But he's actually, I think, proven his quality much more than Ben Davies or Eric Dyer even has this season. I've even gone as far, Dave, to say that Longley has actually been the best performing center back of us this season, even ahead of Romero. I think he's been the most consistent. He's been the most level-headed. He's been great in possession, as we all know he can be. But I don't really remember too many mares from him defensively, even in the Gunner or even the game against the Gooners, Dave, in the North London Derby when Perisic was getting skinned left and right. I mean, honestly, Longley didn't look too poor really in that game for the most part. Thought he actually did quite well. And so I think Longley's been a decent signing, Paul Markey. And then Richarlison, like I said before, a lot of people complained about the likes of Carlos Vinicius. A lot of people complained about Dane Scarlett being left around. A lot of people complained about Spurs never filling the backup number 9 role. We've done that exceptionally in the case of Richarlison. And also, it seems like a lot of people have quickly forgotten about that outside the foot Trivela pass that Richarlison played to Kane against the Nottingham Forest to win us the game. The bit of shithousery he did against Nottingham Forest to win us the game. That brace he got against Marseille to win us the game. So it just seems like also even Richie, who has had inconsistent performances, it's like we've already written off all the good things that he's done for us at this stage as well. And the moments that he's done for us, he came on as a striker and did those impacts. Dave has, I think, criticized him as a right winger, but in those games against Forest as well as against Marseille, he came on as a striker and did exactly what we know he can do and be a huge impact into the game. And so those are just 2 examples right there, Paul, where I think honestly in 2 months, I'd be happy to use hindsight on you as well when it comes to the transfer window. And I don't think it's where you should be looking.
You can't always keep going back to the transfer window. No one says it when we win. How magic is that? All of a sudden, when we win games, which we have been doing, no mention of it whatsoever. But as soon as we lose, it's back on the transfer market. Just call a spade a spade. The players were shit today. They're absolutely shit. Most people call for Bissouma. Most people love Bissouma. He hasn't hit the ground running. Langley, better than Ben Davies. Spence, I can understand it, Perisic, look, he's a world-class player. You couldn't foresee him not coming in here and playing the way he's playing. He's genuinely been a world-class player. Richarlison, we've been calling for backup to Harry Kane instead of having Vinicius and people like that hanging around. So, look, today was an awful performance. Absolutely awful. But we also got to understand, Kulusevski out injured. Lucas Moura coming back from injury. Richarlison out injured. Perisic is coming back from a long injury layoff. Doherty's coming back from a long injury layoff.
Still
so
don't
we're
have
not,
Kulusevski
these
available.
players are not quite 100% at it. But I'm sick of this always resorting to the transfer window, this, that, and the other when we lose, but yet no mention of it when we win. And we're winning more than what we're losing, by the way. So I'll be honest. Let's just call a spade a spade. We were shit today. We deserve to be better. When you've got players who can't pass the ball, can't control the ball, slipping, sliding, putting in half-ass challenges, refusing to run about, that's what happens tonight. Losing. That's what happens.
Yeah. Sue Smith saying here, Hugo impressed after a shaky start. The rest were crap, gutless crap, sick of them. And Sue, it's kind of shocking because Hugo looked like the one, yeah, who didn't have his head in it and looked like the nervous one, which has sort of been the case recently. And all of a sudden, he was the one that really looked like the captain out there, at least a leader by example in a lot of stages, pulled out some absolute worldies. Absolutely right, Sue. Jerome here with the super chat. Once again, we made our own downfall. 2-0 only flatters the score. We cannot keep going to away games and keep playing this way. We've gone into this now. I think it's 2 out of 8 now that we've won, Jerome. And it just has to be said. The away form is just not there. The away form is not good enough in order to challenge in the way that we need to. And it has to be figured out. And the disappointing is that we've had a lot of opportunities to figure out our away form, to be fair, because we've basically played the majority of the season so far away from home here, Jerome, and we've barely even played at all at home this season. And the majority of our big games have come away from home. I think, in fact, almost all of our big games have come from away from home this season against the big teams. It's kind of scary, in fact, to probably think about that Spurs probably haven't learned a lesson from some of these, considering how many opportunities they had to learn these opportunities, because they played mostly away from home this season. I'll be honest, Jerome. And I think 2-0 flatters the score thanks to Hugo.
If anybody out there feels like they know what the problem is on the away form, please let us know, because it's absolute. Look, I think I know what it is. It's come down to what I say. Away from home, you need good players that are going to dig in. You need good defenders that can stay switched on for 90 minutes. I mean, I hate to say it, but I told Spurs fans, all those people that told me Dyer was good, Davies was good, Doherty was good, well, that's the result of this tonight. That's the result of this tonight. Hugo Lloris still as captain. That's the result of this tonight. The away form is shocking because we're persisting with the same players who have given us the same results year in, year out for the last while on the away games. It comes down to leadership as well. Hugo Lloris, how's Højbjerg, Bentancur, Basuma going to hear him? How's Harry Kane or Son going to hear him? You need someone out there in the middle of the action, screaming, shouting at people. Someone that's inspired by the armband, that goes out and presses and makes everyone follow him. You need a fucking leader and men out there for these away games. And we don't. We have Davies, who's afraid to make mistakes and gets run ragged, slipping and sliding like it's that fucking water world. Eric Dyer the same. Romero didn't even cover him again. Another one slipping and sliding around today. It's just so erratic, man. It's just so erratic. I mean, where's your composure? Honestly, their missus should be absolutely embarrassed of them, Jack. I mean, if they're in a bad situation with the missus, are they really going to look at them to get them out of it when they can't show composure in a game of fucking football? Seriously. Where's your composure? Just stand up and be counted. You want to prove everybody wrong. You want to prove people like me who talk about you week in, week out and slander you week in, week out because I know your weaknesses. Well, then go out and prove it on the football pitch. But you know what we're going to hear in the press now, Jack, over the next few days? Oh, we're going to put it right Saturday. We're all going to be at the weekend. But I don't care. Fucking do it when the game's here. Not in the press after, when it's too late. Do it where it matters. Same mentality. It's got to fucking change. This away form is going to be our Achilles heel this season.
Lasego Makona with a super chat. Big up, Jerome, my man. Appreciate support. Lasego Makona. I thought we lacked aggression. It has been coming, but I mean, in other games we've shown the aggression, Lasego. So it's just disappointing that in this sort of one, that this is the one where they just don't show it, and especially in the 3-5-2. Where we all thought that this would be the game where, yeah, you put all the workhorses in, you put in the likes of Basuma, you put in Højbjerg, put in all the guys that will work hard for the team, be able to maybe even lift the back line. Maybe we can play a bit higher up the pitch, all that sort of good stuff. And it just kind of dissipated after 20 minutes. All of a sudden, we just sunk into a deeper shell than it felt like we would have if we were even playing a 3-4-3. Let's be honest. And I even feel like the Gooners, I hate to say it, are a much better team than Man United. And the 3-4-3, there were moments where we sat incredibly deep and were really showing a very soft shell, and we're just sitting way too deep for the liking. But just felt like in the 3-5-2, we were just at certain moments just kind of cowering in the same sort of manner. So you might as well just have three forwards up there. But I'm shocked that we lacked the aggression, because we didn't go with three forwards. We went with three hardworking midfielders, and that should have been exactly what we needed in
So
terms of
hard
that
working.
aggression, Lasego. And it's disappointing. It's disappointing, my man. And
No,
I don't know the explanation for that, because we all know Basuma, Bentancur, Hoiberg, what they all have in common is that work rate and is that effort. And they, at certain stages today, especially on the right hand side of Bentancur and Basuma, I thought was a bit lackluster.
no, Jack.
But
I want
Pierre
to
didn't
pull.
cover himself in glory either. I don't think Pierre had a good game at any stage either.
I want to pull one comment up, and after this, I'm never going to do it again, because there's actually a lot more people in there that put far more intelligent comments in and actually about the game and actually deserve their comments read out. But this guy, Ben Davies, Jack, where's your positivity now? Man, we've lost 3 games this season, and you wait for a loss to come in and go, where's your positive now? We've had a lot more things to be positive about than fucking negative. What do you want us to do? Do you want us to sit here and be negative when things have been going decent? And second of all, do you not think we're hurting just as much as fucking you? Even though you may sit on one side of the fence and we sit on, maybe another or whatever. I don't know. But do you not think we fucking hurt when this happens as well? Do you not?
I
Honestly,
mean,
it winds me
apparently
up.
I'm supposed
Like you're not hurting. You know what I mean? I'm fucking angry. I'm leaving. But don't come in and put in a comment like that after a loss. You know what I mean? Thinking like we're not hurting as well. Of course we're fucking hurting.
apparently
Winds me up. Drives me mad. It's absolutely moronic, stupid, and it's got to stop.
before this game, David, this was the best game start of the season. So apparently I was supposed to be infuriated about that. Apparently I was supposed to be pissed about that. Apparently I was supposed to be negative about that. And if that's what he wants to go see, I mean, he's not going to find that on this channel. So honestly, he can just go find it someplace else if he likes. And he knows he can find it someplace else because he knows it's out there for him. So I don't know what the hell he's doing here, to be fair.
Skunk
But
works. I get it. People are allowed to be negative, but why are you coming in going, where's your positivity now? This, that, and the other. I mean, what's that? What's that actually achieving? Nothing. It's
bed
just trying to
knobs,
rub salt into a wounds when you're already beaten and you're down and you're hurting because of a loss.
especially I've been going
I don't,
live solo
I
for
don't,
about
I don't go to these guys when we've won and we're winning more than what we're losing and go, where's your negativity now? Do I? No, I don't. Because I want people to enjoy the moment. You know? But when it hurts, don't come in here and rub fucking salt into the wounds.
Bedknobs and Broomstick says we've been found out tonight. Conte ball is not for me, and I wish you were in here for the pre-match build-up, Bedknobs, because we have plenty of talking points about is Conte's football too negative? What can he do to fix it? Are there worry signs for it? And I think a lot of the people are coming out the woodwork for it. I'll be honest though, in the pre-match build-up, we had nearly 400 in the chat for that one, and a lot of people showed a lot of positivity about the Conte ball, and all of a sudden it's the complete opposite. So it does maybe show now that it is sort of a game where it does make us feel our worst. It does make us look at this game in the worst possible way, especially on the effort standpoint. But I'll be honest, the negative football comments were really only coming from, or the lack of confidence in the style. I think Kuvo was really one of the only ones in the panel that really said he's not too confident in the style of football right now, and he stood by his word, and I think received a bit of criticism for it actually during the pre-match build-up. In the brave way that he did. And now it seems like everybody all of a sudden hates this style of football, when during the pre-match buildup, I feel like we had a lot of support for it. And I'm still going to stick by it, Bed Knobs. But I could see after results like this, when it's this dismal, when also the lack of substitutions as well. I mean, Conte did not help himself at all by the lack of substitutions and not switching to 3-4-3. I could see why you'd be frustrated. And I could see why you thought that it probably was inevitably going to be the 2-0. And I think Conte still has to take blame for that part, especially the substitutions, especially after halftime, Bed Knobs. But I'm going to still stick by it because, again, it's the best start we've had to a Premier League season before this game. Again, Tin Man 007 saying, surely we have better defenders in our academy than Dyer and Davies. It's always the same shy players that let us down every time. Longley, we already established, was better than Ben Davies, at least so far this season. But Dyer, I think, again, though, has covered himself, and not any glory at all. I've kind of backed Dyer more than I usually expected to this season, Tin Man. And again, he's shown to be so capable of the mistake. But Like Ben Davies, again, I mean, I sort of saw the logic to begin with because of what he can bring forward, but he proved to be a liability defensively. And we know that Longley has been less about liability defensively, but it feels like maybe with Davies, he just wanted there to be more mobility from that back line, somebody that could carry the ball maybe a bit quicker than Longley could. But they both cost us defensively at stages. And there was also one point in the beginning of the game where Eric Dyer really had an atrocious moment and probably maybe should even paid the price or at least kind of got away with one at a certain stage. But yeah, it's always the shy players that let us down every time. But Dave, I mean, it feels like the combination of Davies and Dyer. Tim Man is right in that we've been here before. I'll be honest, I can't really pretend to be the righteous one when it comes to Dyer. I've kind of backed Dyer this season at a few different stages, but the combination of Dyer and Davies, I think a lot of people have been skeptical about, especially because a lot of us have been more confident with Longley.
I've said this before. When Kane and Son can't unlock the door, which is very rare, can that back line hold out? And I've been I've been given no, it can't. Yet again, it cannot hold out. It cannot, get you a point where needed. It's just not good enough. And it's like, if we're being brutally honest, Jack, brutally honest, the defense didn't get us top four last year. Our attackers did. We went on a run of slapping teams. When we couldn't unlock the door, they faltered. We couldn't go and win the game. We ended up conceding and losing the game. And only that Newcastle done us a favor, and our strikers went on to score goals. We got top four. That back line didn't get us top four. It was all the forward players, the midfielders, creating the goals, slapping teams. And my answers were there last year. When they don't score, which is very rare, can we keep a clean sheet? Can we get out of there with a result? No, we fucking can't. And another example today. But yet we were so quick to talk about, why can't we break down low block teams, which is a valid point to talk about. But let's also talk about why the defense can't keep clean sheets on a regular basis.
Conan Taki, big up to Man 007. Appreciate
Dyer
your
and
support
Davies
today.
make each other nervous, Jack. Once one makes a mistake, the other makes a mistake. They make each other nervous.
Yeah, there you are, Tim Man. They both make each other nervous, and I think Longley has proven to me more solid defensively this season. But I can't just pretend to be like some other people, Tim Man. I can't pretend to be, and I told you so, because I tried to see the logic behind why he went for Davies today because of the 3-5-2. I tried to maybe think that because that progressive sort of running that he would bring, that maybe that's what would help us out. But I mean, he is a liability more defensively than Longley is, Ben Davies, and you proved that today, Tin Man. And appreciate your support today, my man. I appreciate you tuning in as well. Conan Taki, we looked lost on both sides of the ball. Again, the first 20 minutes we showed to be, the aggressor. And a lot of people spoke about this where we haven't been the aggressor today. The first 20 minutes we showed that and we lost all of it. And it's weird because you feel like if we lose it going forward, if we lose that ability to be more progressive going forward, you at least like to think that we'd be better and more aggressive defensively. And we didn't show it off the ball either defensively, especially I thought from the likes of Basuma, who should probably have more energy than Højbjerg or Bentancur should be showing kind of all that sparkiness that we know he can bring in there. And I think you're right, Conan. I think we did look lost on both sides of it, especially defensively. And with the 3-5-2, I think we're okay to look negative going forward with the 3-5-2. We kind of expected to not look our best going forward with the lack of runners and the lack of forwards available to us. But the fact that we did look lost defensively in the 3-5-2 is a concern because we shouldn't look as lost defensively. That was kind of the point, I guess, in the first place of going to the 3-5-2 was not to look lost
the point
defensively.
is, Jack, is not to be sitting as deep as we were.
It's not to look lost defensively, Dave. Maybe you might sacrifice, the progressive play going forward, but you're supposed to look compact and more organized defensively in the 3-5-2.
Yeah, we're just way too deep, which is strange, Jack, because when we played the 3-5-2, Brighton engaged them higher up the pitch, Southampton engaged them higher up the pitch. Everton were able to engage them higher up the pitch. So it's a strange one that we were so deep in the 3-5-2, because the reason why people called for the 3-5-2 was because in the 3-4-3, we were sitting so deep. So it's very strange to see us do it in the 3-5-2. I don't get it. And is that down to the way the players were asked to play and the way they were set up? Or is it down to the players not carrying out Conte's instructions? It's a hard one to pinpoint, Jack.
Yeah. In case I missed something, let me know, everybody. But I've gone on to Spurfect super chat here. Big up Spurfect. He says Dyer makes mistakes every game. Remember the last game with his miscontrol? He got away with it. So our supporters just turned a blind eye. It probably I'm guilty of that, to be fair, Spurfect. And we all know that Dyer has those moments in him, but has he gotten away with maybe too many of them this season? And maybe have we all turned a blind eye to it like we have in the past, including myself?
Jack,
And like I said, and like I'll say it again, I'm not going to pretend to be some I told you so like some other people might be, but I've tried to support Dyer this season and I've seen a better Dyer this season, but perhaps I have been blinded and sort of haven't seen, or maybe he just hasn't been punished for the mistakes in the way that we know he has been in the past.
do you want to know how I know we turn a blind eye to it, Jack?
Hmm.
How many times did I call out Ben Davies, Dyer, and Sanchez last season and over the summer? Look at the reaction I got for calling them guys out. And then tell me we don't turn a blind eye to it. Skunkworks is absolutely correct. All I got was comments after comment after comment after comment. This guy can't be a Spurs fan calling these players out like that. How can you say this about this guy, that guy, that guy? I'm giving my honest opinion. That's how I know we turn a blind eye to it. Look, we want Eric Dyer to be world class. The reality is he's just not. We want Ben Davies to be world class. The reality is he's just not. And that's not my fault. It's not the fans' fault. That's their fault. It's the players' fault. You know, Sanchez, we want him to be world class. He's just not. And we've got to stop. Honestly, I'll be honest. Like, look, I can understand people getting behind Kane, Son, Salzburg, Bentancur. How can Eric Dyer, Sanchez, or Ben Davies end up being your favorite player? Especially when they've been on the periphery for 7 years. I do not understand it.
Dermot with a super chat. We were bad tonight. If not for Hugo, we would be down by more. The 2-0 loss, we would be down by more in the 2-0 loss. We're not in the title race. We're not in the top 4 race, but as bad as tonight, we go again. Sunday, I think we're still in the top 4 race here, Dermot. Or we're not in the title race, it says. We're in a top 4 race, but not as bad as tonight. We go again. Sunday, I think a big opportunity to repair ourselves Sunday. But Dermot, this is supposed to be the big moment for sort of Spurs to get some bragging rights, to get some respect from the rest of the Premier League, to get some, to sort of get some due service, to get some due attention. And we've flown under the radar until this point. And now when we get that chance to sort of get the respect we deserve, we just capitulate. And we
But
just
we've done
get
it already against Arsenal, done it against Chelsea. We've done it against United. You know, any chance we have a chance to get that respect, we can't do it. We can't do it. And it's pissing me off. It's annoying me. It really is annoying me. This is the worst United team I've seen since I was born. And I was born in 1991. And I'm sitting there watching them look like prime Barcelona. You know? Like, we can't keep finding excuses or making excuses for them. This is the worst United team there's been since I was born. And we still can't find a way to stand up and beat them and make people take notice. So if you can't do it now, when are you going to do it? Because United are only going to get better. They're only going to get better. So what's the excuse? There is none. You've just got to fucking get out there and do it. Stand up. You know, stand there, look in the mirror every day and say, I want to be a league champion. I want to be a league champion. Then go out there and train it and replicate what you're saying in the mirror to yourself every day. Go out there on the football pitch. Replicate what you want to be. Well, if I went round that squad, I wonder how many would actually say with conviction, I want to be a league champion. I'm not so sure. I still think there's players happy to be there because if deep down, I think some of them know they're not good enough to be there. So of course they're just going to be happy being there. I bet some of them can't even believe they're being rolled out week in, week out, if I'm being honest.
Appreciate you, Dermot. I mean, it's hard to have that mentality of going again Sunday right now, my man. Especially like we said, it's just such a huge missed opportunity for getting the bragging rights. It's a huge opportunity for getting the bragging rights. Dark Sun G, this was Fred's best game in his entire career. Says it was a shy performance when you're saying something like that, Dark Sun G. And the deflected goal as well. I mean, Ben Davies really helped that in, and he really helped Fred probably get some confidence from that one as well, because I think that was just headed straight into Lloris's arms, if you ask me. And Ben Davies certainly helped it look like a good finish, and it's disappointing. And the moment you say Fred is having a good game against you, you know that's bad news. Big up, Dark.
I mean, he's one of the worst United fans. I'd actually put him on par with Eric Jemba. That's how bad the guy is in terms of United midfielders. And that guy is running roost in our midfield. He's running the show. Come on, guys. Talking about Fred, he's been ridiculed by the United fans since he's been there.
Yeah.
He's the worst midfielder United have probably ever had alongside Eric Djemba. And the guy's scoring goals and running the show.
He's probably
Bastard.
criticized just as much as Emerson is,
It's
if
just
not
more
more.
insult to the injury.
Rob Wallace, very, very generous, has gifted 5 memberships for people to come on. So everybody, please take advantage of this, and please take advantage of Rob's generosity here, especially if you're pissed, especially if you want to have your talk, especially if you want to have your moment. Come on Friday. Please have your say on the Friday fan show. I know I'll be there. I know Dave as well is going to be hosting the post-match fan shows on the weekend as well after the games. We're going to try to do some post-match fan shows when we're able to. Tonight's probably just a bit too late, but Rob Wallace, really appreciate it, my man. It's really, really generous. So people, please take advantage of it, of Rob's generosity. Please just come on. You don't even have to put on your camera or anything. You don't have to be standing and facing the public like we are. You can just turn off your camera, have what you want to say for 10 to 15 minutes, and then you can get on out of there. It's a great way to feel like you can have your voice heard. So please take advantage of what Rob has given you here. And Daz Alir, please, love to see you soon. Streetcar Ready, would love to see you soon. Bottom Fragger, would love to see you. Big Mike and Adam Phillip as well. Please take advantage of it, guys. Please come on to the show. Like I said, no need to put on your camera or anything. Just want to have your say and take advantage of Rob's generosity, and then you can feel like you can have your voice heard as well. Big up, Rob Wallace.
Big up, Rob.
Dark Sun G. Yeah, really generous people. Please take advantage of it. Dark Sun G says, let's bounce back by beating Newcastle and then beat Sporting and hope Marseille beat Frankfurt, then beat Bournemouth, and then hopefully beat Liverpool. It's going to be interesting one, Newcastle, because Newcastle, they got away with the point against Man United, also away from home. They just proved to have a better performance there. The big difference, I must say, though, was the likes of Ronaldo versus Rashford. And I did say that Rashford has been their best player so far this season, and that he's gone with Rashford for against Spurs instead of against Newcastle. Maybe it showed that Ten Hag was probably a bit more fearful of Spurs, and he saved maybe Rashford for this game. Not an excuse, just maybe showing what Ten Hag thinks of Rashford versus what he thinks of Ronaldo. Maybe a bit of an insight there. But it's going to be an interesting one, because if we pick up 3 points against Newcastle, I don't know. I mean, then maybe it just shows that this was just a shit performance tonight and a horrible effort overall. But if we drop points against Newcastle, then I think there is a lot more to be said. Then you can start to build a case against this team. But if we then all of a sudden pick up 3 points against Newcastle, that's the team that somehow got the job against Man United that we were able to pick up 3 points against, which again just sort of speaks to maybe what does it speak to, Dave? Just speaks to a weak backbone when it comes to these sort of games. And it doesn't always come down to tactics. It doesn't always come down to maybe the intangibles of the manager. If we, let's say, pick up 3 points, like Dark Sun G says, against Newcastle, a team that freshly just beat Man United, it says a whole lot more about this effort, and it says a whole lot more about the players and the backbone that they had today than it does about the tactics or really anything.
Which they got a result against United because they worked hard. They worked as a team. And going forward, they also broke in numbers. They got players getting on the ball, running at that United backline. We fucking didn't do that today. Everyone wanted to pass on responsibility. Oh, there's pass forward. Nah, do you know, I'm going to pass it to the left. I'll let Perisic take responsibility. You know, Doherty. Oh, with the ball in the box. No, I'm going to pass inside. I'm going to let Bentancur take responsibility. People don't want to take responsibility for what their roles are out there on the pitch. Basuma, Højbjerg, Bentancur. Go around after the ball, win it back. Didn't really do it today. Sat back. Doherty, get on the ball, whipping into the box is what we need from the right wing back. No, pass it back inside. You know, there's not enough people out there taking responsibility. By the way, when all them mistakes were happening at the back line, Jack, just curious, do you see any one of them stand up and scream at anybody saying this has to stop?
Feels like they just put their hands up and usually
it doesn't happen because there's no one taking fucking responsibility. That's why. That is exactly why. Everyone's afraid to play. They're scared. Scared little fucking children. If you have someone out there that holds people accountable, people out there that take responsibility for the jobs they've been given on the day, that shit tonight doesn't happen.
Yeah. Sporting though is a big away match. Marseille is a huge away match. Marseille and at Dark Sunji, and that could be again a test maybe for Spurs to make do with these already poor performances. I don't think they can make do or be able to make up for these poor away performances. But perhaps that would show maybe they're starting to learn something about with how poor the away form has been this season, because Marseille is a huge test. I must be honest, as much as it isn't Man United, it's away from home, and it could secure our advancement into the next stages of the Champions League. There's a lot of weight behind it. There's a lot of pressure behind it. It's similar sort of circumstances, and we'll see how they handle it. Even against a team like Frankfurt, where they bossed Frankfurt for all 90 minutes, they still couldn't get 3 points. And it just shows that there is maybe just something about a lack of sort of final through, a lack of sort of, final finish in the sort of team when it comes to even away performances, because they can even put in a good performance like they did against Frankfurt, where they went out with 0-0. But we all know they should have gotten much more than that. And so that just shows there is something to be concerned about with the away form right now. Dark Sun G, and Marseille is a good opportunity to do so. And then the likes of Bournemouth and Liverpool, I think those will be at home as well. So not as much the case.
We lost to NS Mura away. We lost to Vitesse away. Blamed the crowd.
We're capable of losing to anyone.
The weather. You know what I mean? And I'm always surprised with what we've seen from Ben Davies today. When he came out and said what he did after the Vitesse game, blaming the atmosphere. Imagine blaming the crowd for being noisy and getting behind their team in their own stadium. Imagine that. When you have people coming out like that, making them excuses after away games against lower ranked European opposition, and it's more of Vitesse, blaming the crowd, blaming Jack's girlfriend, blaming my mother, blaming the ball, blaming the weather, this, that, and the other. Are we surprised when people like that are still playing in these away games today that we have a bad away form? Are we surprised? Expect absolutely nothing going away with this team. Absolutely nothing. Anything we get is a bloody bonus with these guys going away from home. And I'm not surprised this shit happens when one of the guys' one of the leaders of the people in the press conference after, Ben Davies, with the excuses and everything else he tried to make, is still playing in this back line in these away games. We didn't learn a lesson from Vitesse. We wanted to come out and say, oh, man, hang on, Ben has a point. Instead of going, hang on, you dickhead. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're going away. You expect the crowd to be against you. You expect the atmosphere to be tough. You got to expect it. So it already shows me where his mentality is at when he makes them excuses after Vitesse. So when he plays, why expect anything away from home? We know he's the definition of an apple fucking crumble.
Pick up Dark Sun G. Appreciate your support, my man. Really do appreciate your support, brother. And we're going to have to find a way against the likes of Newcastle. And it's an interesting game considering they only just played Man United as well, Dark Sun G. It's a very interesting game. Trace MUFC. United are feasting on Hotspur chicken tonight. There you are. There you are, Trace. Read it all out for you, my man.
Tell your man to have my dinner ready too. I'll be around to feast on chicken.
G says, I wish we went for Kim Min Jae this summer. And the lack of a dire competition, the lack of competition, the lack of a person to step in for him in case his form does dip is showing this season. And even Conte came out and said he doesn't feel comfortable playing really anyone else through the middle, which just shows as a huge miss this summer. And like I come back to earlier about the transfer window, Dave, I'm fully understanding if you say that we missed something in the transfer window. If you feel like maybe there's some areas that we left it short, there were some areas that we should have invested in, I'm fully accepting that. And I'm fully actually listening to that argument. I'm not going to listen to the argument that we failed on certain signings or that certain signings are already flops or something like that, because then I find that to be a bit too soon. I find that to be a bit too kind of sensationalist. But when it comes to maybe things like this, where it's like, did we actually find competition for Dyer? Did we actually find someone that we know can maybe compete with him in that sort of role in the middle? No, we didn't. And that's an area that we didn't address. And I'd be happy to listen to that when it comes to the transfer window. And the way that Kim Min Jae has been performing, a lot of people, a lot of fans doubted him. A lot of fans kind of wrote him off. He's proven to be one of the best center backs in kind of Europe this season with the way he's been playing for Napoli. And so that could have been actually excellent competition for the likes of Eric Dyer, Dark Sun G. And certainly I know you knew that, brother, but big yourself up. And I do appreciate it, my man, as well. Dark Sun G as well follows up saying, if we face Sporting first, if we and Marseille win, then both of us go to the round of 16. So it really then doesn't matter. Go to the round of 16 with us, Marseille, or with us on 10 points, Marseille on 9, Sporting on 6, Frankfurt on 4. for your information. Um, and then not sure what, and then Bournemouth is actually away, and now Bournemouth is actually an away game. I actually thought it was going to be at home,
How much
Dark
you
Sun
betting we
G.
make that look hard? How much you betting they look like Real Madrid? Honestly, how much you betting they look like Real Madrid when we
But
go there?
then he's taken away even this, or not Dark Sun G intentionally, but he's proven, Dave, that even this Marseille game that I sort of hyped up as maybe an opportunity for Spurs to be in another high pressure scenario for an away game if they get the job done, which they have to against Sporting. If they get all 3 points there, that Marseille game doesn't end up really meaning very much ultimately. So it just shows that, again, there aren't really many other opportunities left for Spurs to prove us right or prove us wrong when it comes to the away games. That was one of their last chances, actually, this season before the World Cup to show that they have a good backbone in these away games. And it's actually disappointing, Dark Sunji, to find that out, because if we get 3 points against likes of Sporting, I mean, we'll find ourselves where that Marseille game won't really mean very much.
Well, I hope there's nothing riding on it, Jack, because if we think we're going away to Marseille and we're going to pummel them, we're sadly mistaken. Yeah, have anyone seen their fans? Anyone seen what their fans done in our stadium? You think their stadium isn't going to be rocking? And we've got a guy who came out in the press and said the atmosphere was too loud for us today. You think we're going to play in that stadium with their fans? They're one of the most hostile, crazy across Europe. We better not have to go and get anything going into that game, or we're fucked.
Yeah, and then Bournemouth being the actual away, competition, it just, and like David said, we'll probably find a way to make that difficult with the away form's been Dark Sun G. But I hope we pick up 3 points against Sporting just so that the Champions League no longer is a headache, my man. Big up Tin Man with another super chat, and big up Dark Sun G. Appreciate your support. Tin Man 007 saying it doesn't matter what formation or what system we play. Bottom line is that most of these players are just not good enough. And in the case of Ben Davies and Eric Dyer, kind of the regulars in this team, players that have been here quite a long time, have sort of shown that today. And I don't really want to throw the new players under the bus, Tin Man. I really don't. The likes of Romero, I know he maybe hasn't been impressing as much this season we'd like to, but we know he is a world-class center back with the season he had last season. We know Perisic is capable of being brilliant, even though I admit he has underwhelmed. There are good players in this team, and we've seen Højbjerg be one of the most consistent players so far this season. We've seen Basuma boss midfields for Brighton. Maybe it's the regulars kind of coming through again. It's the likes of Ben Davies and Eric Dyer. And let's be honest, when you look at both goals, despite Spurs they probably deserve to concede more. I think we got away with a 2-0 there. But if you do look at just the 2 goals we did actually concede, Ben Davies and kind of Eric Dyer sort of have their footprint or their handprint all over it.
Ben Davies had 6.5 good games of football. That half coming last week in the second half. Or sorry, not Ben Davies, Matt Doherty. I mean, and we sit here and absolutely laud the guy. Laud him. Praise him. 6.5 good games in 2 years. Ben Davies, back up for 7 years, finds himself in the team under Conte last season. All of a sudden, he's a fan favourite. Eric Dyer, back up for 7 years, finds himself in the team last season. All of a sudden, of a fan favourite. Sanchez, back up to Toby and Jan, never found himself in the Spurs team, been back up for 5 years. All of a sudden, fan favourite. We've got to get rid of these guys out the team. These guys weren't even good enough to be in a prime Poch team that got us to all them finals and semi-finals, let alone be good enough right now to start week in, week out with their bottle job mentality. And of course it hinders us. Of course it does, Jack. Big game today. Okay, 3-5-2. Clearly Conte went looking for a point. Clearly went away looking to go and play for a point. That backline can't stand up and keep a clean sheet. Give me a break. It's the worst United team ever. It's shambolic. Tim Man's right. It's still some of the old players here, same mentality, not good enough. And while they're still in the team, they can be back up all they want. I don't mind. Just don't be on the football pitch because you hurt me. You piss me off, But the minute they come in and play, what do we expect? What do we expect?
Big up, Tin Man. Appreciate your support and appreciate you tuning in all day. My man, do appreciate that. It's been a long time, Tin Man. Al Ben says struggling players seem to always turn up versus Spurs. That's where maybe more Dr. Tottenham comes into play. Al Ben, you're probably right there. And then Kulu Sexy Football with a super chat says Conte and Jose may have won it all, but football has moved on and we haven't. Sheer luck. We're in third place right now in the Premier League. Conte is holding this team back. Come on, you Spurs. Kulusevski, I'm going to read it aloud, but I just hate to say it. I disagree with you in every single facet whatsoever when it comes to Conte. I don't think it's a coincidence that before this game, we were in the best position we've ever been in the Premier League. I don't think it was a coincidence that Antonio Conte got us from what some people thought was an unsavable position and then getting us in the top four ahead of the Arsenal, ahead of the Gooners, who had such a big step ahead of us. Also, the likes of Man United, who were also well ahead of us at the time, getting us in the top four. I also still look at the fact that if Conte does get us into the round of 16 for the Champions League, exactly where we want to be and exactly where Spurs fans are going to be probably celebrating once again, seeing us back into the knockout rounds of the Champions League, a place that we haven't been in a very long time, may I add as well. I just think that, again, we're going to find ourselves, criticizing the wrong man, Kulusevski, but I'm going to be respectful too. I'm going to read it aloud, but I'll be honest, I disagree in every single manner.
I see where he's coming from with the point he's trying to make. If you look at a lot of the clubs now, they are trying to appoint forward-thinking, attractive football sort of managers. I get that. It wasn't so long ago Conte just won a league with Inter Milan. When you do not have the caliber of players like some of these managers do, like Man City, maybe like Liverpool, have done over the last recent years, the great equalizer is playing the way Conte plays, is playing the way Jose Mourinho plays. And look, most Spurs fans started supporting Tottenham because the way they played football, and I get that. But at some stage, we have to accept that we've got a world-class manager in here, may not like the way he plays. But at the end of the day, the results speak for itself. We're back in the Champions League. We're sitting here in the top four race at the minute, potentially another title race if we beat Newcastle at the weekend. We'll wait and see. But, look, I don't mind what Conte is doing. At the end of the day, some of these players, they need this. They need someone like Conte. And we didn't win anything playing the Poch way. Sexy football. Didn't win anything. We got to a heap of semi-finals, finals, couple league run-ins, and we were ultimately hurt every single time. But I do get the point you're making. I fully understand it.
And Kulusevski, I must say, fabulous name as well. And I didn't want to dig into it just because I think you and I just disagree. And there's no need for me to just, attack you over that as well. I mean, it's just how you feel. So I don't want to just berate, into your opinion. But I just have to be honest. I just disagree. And I probably have already been accused of that, tonight of not being, honest enough. So might as well prove it. Mayhem Skip, I thought even as well, to you, Kulusevski, just to maybe find a good kind of middle point. There, Mayhem Skip writing, we are singling out one or two men when it was every man apart from Lloris that didn't do their job. The attack, the midfield, the defense, the coach were all awful tonight. And it is something to consider as well, that just kind of, I would say, even though Kane and Son, I don't think did a whole lot wrong tonight, they didn't get the opportunities to really do a whole lot right either. So there is something to be said there with just the fact that just from 1 through 11, they just didn't show up. Really today. And Lloris is the only one that can hold his head high. But that is also how the nature of the goalkeeping position is that when the rest of the outfield players in front of you don't do anything to support you, the goalkeeper is going to be asked to, basically have a worldie and to keep you in the game. It's just kind of how it ends up being. And Lloris ended up doing that. And we've seen him do this before where he ended up starting a bit shaky. All of a sudden, his sort of mentality switches, and then the rest of the team kind of ends up being the shaky one. It was an odd one, Mayhem. And I think a lot of people would probably agree with your comment there. So I just decided to put it up on screen as well.
I get the point Mayhem Skip is trying to make, right? And I get it. But first of all, we have spoke about the midfield. I mean, I sat there for about nearly 50 minutes during the game screaming about the midfield. But I've said this time and time again, when Kane and Son can't score, which is not very often, is the back line good enough to hold out and keep a clean sheet? No. So naturally, I'm going to get onto them when that's my point of view, and I've questioned them before. Prove to me you're good enough. When the game's not going for us, Kane and Son can't score, keep a clean sheet, get us out there with a point. Haven't been able to do it, so that's why I'm talking about it. Because I've been on about this defense since last season.
Dark Sunji with a super chat. If we had Kulu and Richie in this game, then it would have been different because we could ping balls over with Kulu versus the short Martinez, and Richie
Yeah.
header would have made 1 point. I think having Richie as an option off the bench would have been really helpful against the likes of Lissandro Martinez. I actually think Kane was really having no problem against Lissandro holding it up. It just, if he had someone else to be able to help him out with it, just to cause extra problems there, I think definitely there is something there, Dark Sunji. You're absolutely right. And then Kulusevski, we all know, is the one that makes the 3-4-3 click. It couldn't be more obvious game by game who is the one that actually makes the 3-4-3 click more consistently throughout a whole 90 minutes. We've gotten some good spells in a 3-4-3 this season, but we've yet to really see the complete 90 minutes from the 3-4-3. And it seems to be Kulusevski that is going to bring that out of us, Dark Sunji. And perhaps also just that hold up play, that bit of composure would have come from him. There were so many sloppy passes from a lot of players as well, just conceding possession back to Man United way too easily. We all know those are things that Kulusevski just wouldn't do. I mean, he's just a much more composed winger. And then also maybe late in the game, trying to chase the game, someone like Richie could have caused Lissandro Martinez a lot of problems with that physicality that he brings. If you just put him right next to Kane, maybe Richarlison, I think he definitely could have caused problems. But like we said, Kulusevski, if he was available off the bench, I think probably even if he had started with a 3-5-2 Conte, he would have switched maybe sooner to a 3-4-3, knowing that he could have relied on a Kulusevski. But we find ourselves in a position again where we have a lot of injuries, we have a lot of players not available to us. And is Conte going to go to players that are basically unproven and are sort of only just coming back from injury themselves and are basically huge risks? He isn't that sort of manager. And that is something I think you're welcome to criticize him for, that lack of risk, that lack of faith, maybe in that sort of, that player that he can bring on. But maybe if there were a Kulusevski on there, Dark Sunji, I think he might have switched to the 3-4-3 a bit sooner. At least I'd like to think he would have switched to the 3-4-3 sooner.
And just on this, just quickly, I hope us as a fan base has learned our lessons about actually how important Kulu was. Because it wasn't so long ago when Kane's son and Kulu were fit and everyone was calling for one of them to be dropped to put in a new shiny toy Richarlison. You know what I mean? And I like Richarlison. I think he's going to be ultimately turn out to be a good signing for us once he gets to play in his natural role, once he's used there more often. But now, hopefully, we actually understand how important Kulu is, because before we keep calling for rotation, we keep calling for these players to be dropped, and then when we're not there, look what happens. We're toothless going forward. So, for me, I just hope we've learned a lesson and actually understand how important Kulu is, and to never get complacent on it again, calling for him to be. And you can fluff it up and call it rotation all you want. You're not. You're asking for him to be dropped so you can play Richarlison. Nuts and bolts of the argument. So hopefully we've learned our lesson.
Jerome here with a super chat. To be honest, boys, I'm so angry right now. We nearly went there for a draw, and what did we offer in this game? And or we clearly went there for a draw, and what did we offer in this game? And beforehand, in the pre-match buildup, Jerome, as maybe you were able to see, I asked the question: Is it a bit not? Is it a bit defeatist to go into this game? Going for a draw, to set up for a draw. Is that maybe a mentality that Spurs should avoid, knowing that this is one of the more beatable Man Uniteds in some time, Jerome. But maybe the 3-5-2 at the same time was what a lot of Spurs fans wanted. They wanted to sit more compact. They wanted to be harder to break down defensively. And I could see the logic behind it. But maybe there is maybe more of a sort of like going for the draw mentality if you are setting up in that sort of 3-5-2. Then again, though, I feel like the 3-5-2 can work against certain opponents. It just today, again, it's just certain performances from the likes of the midfield and lack of effort just overall from the players just maybe made the 3-5-2 not look as good as well as we know it probably could have today. So there's also that being said. It's not like the 3-5-2 just doesn't work. It's just probably looked a lot worse with the lack of effort from certain players, which then made it just kind of pointless to a degree because we then didn't have any players going forward. We then didn't have anything creative wise, and the hard work and the grit and the steel that we thought we were going to get from that 3-5-2, we just simply didn't get today, and that's a disappointment because that's what we're sort of relying on the 3-5-2 for, if you ask me, Jerome. But did we set up maybe for the draw? I guess with the mentality of certain players after the 20th minute, sort of felt that way, I guess. It felt like they did maybe set up for the draw, which is a disappointment because it's the most beatable Man United in some time as well, like David has been saying too.
It is disappointing. And Jack, all you've got to do is cut a look at back where United has been bad. Newcastle pressed United's back line at times. They ended up kicking it long because they can't deal with it. They can't pass out from the back. Brentford pressed their midfield on the back line, 4-0 up at half time. I think Brighton done the same. In fact, there's more evidence to show that when you actually press that United team and put them under pressure, they crumble. They absolutely crumble. So, of course, being Tottenham, what do we do, Jack? I will actually give you all possession today. We're going to try and do it some other different way, to the part way that's been shown to you nearly every single fucking time a team has come up against them that's bet them. It's because of the way they've pressed them, the intensity they pressed, the amount of bodies getting forward and pressing them. So the blueprint was there. Oh no, because we're Tottenham Hotspur, we have to go with a 3-5-2. We have to, go with a team that's just not going to press. I do not understand it. It's baffling. It's confusing. The blueprint is being put out there, and we want to try and create our own. It winds me up.
Big up, Jerome, though. Appreciate your support, my man. I want to see what you have to say Friday. If you are available Friday, Jerome, might be more convenient for your time zone as well, my man. And so we do want to hear what you have to say. But I think we're going to end it off there, everybody. I think we're going to call it an evening. It's been a very long day for me and myself personally. I would say do look out, though, for some other voices. We're going to have the fan cams coming out. I know Wes is going to have his say. And so do check out everybody. Do show him some support on that. And it will be a different voice. And it won't be me blabbering for the rest of the day. You'll be able to listen to what he has to say for this one. But do check out as well. Debate show tomorrow. We'll be covering the debate show. I think Mr. Daigle will be there. Ben from We Are Tottenham TV will be there as well for a debate show. We'll be talking about this game, talking about that away form, all that sort of stuff. And then Friday we'll be having as well the fan show, so you can come on and have your say, especially if you have been gifted a membership by either Truth Sets Free or the likes of Rob Wallace. Please take advantage of it and come on Friday and have your say. But Dave, any kind of final thoughts?
No, Foggy Fulham just puts in a question that or a comment, and I'm not annoyed at him. It just annoys me because it's what I seen on the Arsenal All or Nothing when Arteta said it coming up against Tottenham. Foggy Fulham says, Dave, look at Ten Hag's quotes, and they targeted our backline with a high press. Now, I've also been speaking about Mikel Arteta saying the same thing to Arsenal. You could see it in the All or Nothing. So it seems to be a known thing with these people. Press our backline, especially when Ben Davies and Dyer are playing, because they're inconsistent on the football. Yeah. So it's worrying. That's something we have to do better on. Look, I'm going to be angry until we get another win. I'll be brutally honest. Unfortunately, what can you do on nights like this but dust yourself down, pick yourself up, and go on, because the games are coming quick and fast. But I'm fucking angry tonight, Jack. I can't help but sit here hurting. Yeah. I'm actually angry at the performance from the players, if I'm being more honest. But look, it is what it is. I want to say, Jack, great job the last few days, my man. Really appreciate you keeping the streams running in that way. I've been out unwell, so appreciate it, buddy.
Well, we'll keep coming at you. Plenty more content. No matter if Dave or I is ill, no matter what, you'll still be seeing the content coming out no matter what, everybody. But that'll be all for now. We're going to call it an evening, and we'll catch you all tomorrow. Definitely a really tough one to take. So we'll see how we recover for tomorrow for it. And we're going to have a good debate show to break it all down for you, everybody. But that'll be all. Come on, you Spurs. In Conte we trust.
In Conte.